All right, y'all. So here we go. We are here live for the invitational rounds of LVO 2024. You're going to see a very familiar face today. First game of stream. You might be aware. Vincent Curkov is going to be here playing some Shield.
Absolutely.
Whoa, Buffalo Spin Shot Dad Packs is with 25 gift subs. Holy
Whoa,
crap.
what a wonderful start here for all of us. Thank you so much, X-Paxis.
Wow.
Where is he? He's hiding somewhere.
Where the hell is he?
It's very...
Holy cow, dude.
Wow.
Thank you for that.
That is amazing.
But Longshanks link is going to be...
We've got the Longshanks link up, and yes, as Tim said, we've got Vincent Curkov, last year's Invitational champion. He is going to be here at our feature table here for the first
I could hear everything else too.
So right now we did, Taylor, did we just roll for priority? I believe we're moving. We got a lot of excitement here starting off.
So we do have some giveaways that are going to be happening today too. Baron of Dice, baronofdice.com is giving away 2 $20 gift cards. Monument Hobbies is also going to be giving away a $25 gift card. And we also have a set of metal dice from Misty Mountain Gaming that is going to be giving away as well every other round. So we're getting set up right here. We got Vince, looks like, on the
Vince is playing Shield, I believe.
Yes. Put it in your ear. When it's down and up, it gets everything. That's okay. And who do we have on the other side, Taylor? Researcher and Riots.
Researcher. Riots.
Taylor, who's on the other side? That's not Vince. Troy.
And Troy was playing another one we hadn't seen before. So we continue to see the very diverse meta here.
All right, so we know unequivocally that Vince is going to be playing Shield.
Yes.
I think I have the Longshanks link here, 17 threat, looks like. Here's the Longshanks link in chat. You can also use all of the dope stuff. Unable to pin. Don't tell me what to do. Something went wrong. Okay, cool. So I can't pin it, but there's the Longshanks link. And if you use that that standard old code there, so we're going to be using X-Force for Weapon X,
yes.
And
Weapon X.
Going to use Avengers, I think, for the time being. For
I kept thinking Troy was playing X-Force because we had another one. We were talking about possibly having X-Force, but then I was like, no, that's definitely not right.
It is Weapon X.
Weapon X. So again, 2 more things that we haven't seen yet. So this is 6 matches, 12 affiliations. So very cool to see that.
I'm gonna make a quick call.
All right, so we are getting set up. We are awaiting. They're putting together their armies right now, and then we'll get you that information. Taylor, what's the threat and who
17.
And who won priority? Troy. And all right, so we are going to be doing threat 17. Troy has world priority. So they are putting together. They are putting together their teams right now. We are going to see. We are going to have a little more time here. Yesterday, tournament ran real tight. Rapid fire with the rounds here. We are going to see more time today, so we are going to have some opportunities to interview more of the players throughout the day. You can keep up. Again, use that Longshanks to keep up with the bracket. We've got some real great matchups that we could see in the future. One that I'm keeping my eye on here. Curkov, if he is able to win his first 2, we could see Nate Horn and Curkov here in the final round of today, which Nate Horn was one of the players who went 5-0 in that last chance qualifier yesterday. So it would be real great to see basically the winners of the last 2, the LVO last chance qualifier and last year's champion going at it. I think that would be an excellent matchup to cap off the day, but in a bracket like this, anything can happen.
Correct. Very much so.
But there's a lot of good. If you're a viewer, it's always fun to look at the matchups and see kind of what might we see in the future. What can we see here at the end of the day? Who can we see tomorrow in those championship rounds? It's always fun to kind of look at those brackets and see what can happen. Get excited about matchups that may or may not happen, and certainly Nate Horn versus Curkov is one I'm excited for. Should it come to fruition?
What we have researcher and what's the secure?
Riots.
Riots.
We are on threat 17.
Nice.
And Troy won priority.
How many people got through from the LCQ? I believe it was 10.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh yeah, there you are.
Yes. All right, so this is Curkov's list. We've got Crimson Dynamo, Bullseye,
Yes.
Nick Fury, and the Howling Commandos.
Oh, so Nick Sr. Okay.
Invincible Ironman.
Ooh, we do have Iron Man Shield.
And a regular Nick Fury.
And Nick Jr. Okay, so he could be going either way here.
Yep. And some shield agents there. And then our tactics card here. Sit Rep. Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Stark Armory. One of our most popular cards here, Brace for Impact. And Eye in the Sky.
Brace and Eye. All right.
We're going to see a lot of Brace for Impact today based on what we were looking at with our meta report.
I do believe it is pronounced Vincent in the Sky. Ooh, I love seeing a Gwenpool.
Starting it right off, we got a Gwenpool. Sabretooth Apex Predator.
Apex Brother.
Logan the Wolverine. X-23. And Honey Badger.
Hell yeah.
And we've got X-Ceptional Healing. Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
They say keep your enemies close. ...
Oh, that's the name of the card.
That is. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure you want to remember? And no matter the cost.
No matter the cost.
All right.
Do you want to remember? Oh, yeah. There you go.
I didn't do a good job this time of writing while I was talking.
All right, so if you joined us yesterday as well, you know that I went through a lot of work yesterday getting Midnight Suns and Hellfire Club and Spider Foes icons up. Guess what? I don't have. Shield or Weapon X. Right? Well, and I'm hoping I have Roland on stream too, one of our local boys who's also a Shield player. He really is. Thanks so much for grabbing me the book, Tim. Oh, absolutely, dude. I can't chance Anthony's non-answers on whether we're going to get stuff or not. So, unfortunately, FedEx is closed, but I'm going to try to FedEx all of these stuff back. I got the Tomb King's core, arcane, whatever journal, and the cards. They don't have official faction symbols. That's what makes it a little bit more difficult. So I've been using the Longshanks ones in place of it. All right. So it looks like we have Gwenpool down for Troy on the right, dead center. From the owner of the Dinsdale Dividends.
So we saw
that Orcs and Goblins are up next for Old World. Hell yeah, dude.
So we saw Researcher yesterday, but Riots I don't think is one that we saw.
We did not see Riots as a secure yesterday. That is Accuroto.
Let me see. Riots Spark. So with Riots, we've got 4 console tokens. And you score for each one that you control. And you can remove damage being within those within range for those. So
that's right. Interact with it, pay a power, get some help, or on somebody else within range too.
Yep, anyone within range too. So
it looks like there we have Howling Command, or no, are those shield grunts above Crimson Dynamo? Taylor? Are those grunts above Dynamo, or is that senior? All right. All right, so it looks like for Curkov we have Nick Senior, followed by Crimson Dynamo. Then, who's under Dynamo, Taylor? Invincible Ironman. Nick Jr., his grunts, and Bullseye. And then over. All right, so it looks like we're going to be led here by X-23 for Do You Want to Remember? In September. Awesome Watskin. Thank you for the follow. Okay, Honey Badger is moving up to the objective there behind the LVO statue. All right, Bullseye going first here. Looks like he's hopping down on a Riot and the back research point. Great spot for him.
So Tim, we start off a game here. So again, we know more. This is bracket style, single elimination. You're coming in here and you're matched up against last year's champion. How are you feeling when that happens?
Breakdown and Longshanks should all be correct now. We should have them all as MCT codes now.
Hell
awesome. Thank you so much.
So an update from TO Omnis, Mr. Omnis Protocol himself. It looks like all MCT codes are in. So character roster stuff is all accurate and character breakdowns are all accurate.
Yes,
all right, so we have Crimson Dynamo moving up behind the LVO statue.
I was looking through those stats today. A lot of interesting stuff. A little bit of unexpected things, and a few things that we certainly probably did expect.
It looks like we got a sit rep there from Nick to Crimson Dynamo. Is that right?
Okay. All right.
Oh, from Senior to Crimson Dynamo.
There we go. So Tim, sorry, back to that. So you're matched up with the defending champion. So how are you feeling if you're on Troy's side?
Not great.
Right now? Yeah.
Not great.
Yep.
But I think one of the things to think of too is when Vince came into the LCQ last year, right? He got rep after rep after rep out over the meta.
Yep.
And people are aware of what Shield does now.
Yeah.
So that allure, that mystery that he had that first year is no longer here. People know his game, but with the new core box, new Iron Man, he's switched up his game quite a bit too.
Of course.
So if people are coming in here expecting to be able to play against last year's Vincent Curkov, they are wrong.
Absolutely.
He's had another year of refining this list. He has a bunch of new tools in his pocket.
Absolutely.
And he is not playing the same old game.
Yep. The affiliation is Shield, but he's flexible to what's going on, and he's got some, as you said, some new tricks and some new toys to play with.
Absolutely. So it looks like a double move from Fury and the Howling Commandos up to that center point on the Researcher, and then Nick Jr. right behind him. With those grunts as well. We have Gwenpool on that back Researcher point, and looks like just Apex brother Sabretooth left to go for Troy. Logan holding that bottom Riot, and looks like X-23 holding the top. Demar, thank you for the follow.
And I did notice you kind of had a reaction when we read Nick Senior out there. Well, tell us about him. Tell us what he brings to the table here for Curkov.
So Nick Senior, Curkov has always gotten a lot of work out of him. A really cheap Incinerate, as well as kind of a bunch of movement shenanigans. So we have a beam going into X-23 from Crimson Dynamo. Ooh, popping off hot here, showing 4. She's blocking 2 though.
There's a skull.
He does pay for the Iron Man reroll, turns into a skull. She will end up taking 2 there.
All right.
And no wild, so no shock.
Pork roll protocol ignores all salary caps and trade deadlines. Yeah, pork roll protocol is our top team represented here. We've got 6 Cork Roll Protocol players here in the pool of 64. So well represented. So we certainly expect to see a few of them moving through these rounds.
Yeah. So round 1 is already over.
Okay, we are moving. Championship speed,
right?
All right, 3-3. So even, but looks like both of these players came in with a plan, and they are here to execute. They know what to do. Well, they did have access to what this was going to look like. So round 1, we might see things kind of move quicker. I think a lot of players really.
Oh, that's yours. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was like, I couldn't hear you very well.
Okay, that's why when I was like playing around with this, nothing was changing. That makes a lot of sense. I was like, this is really loud and this isn't working, but I don't have anything to do with it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that.
I fixed it. I can hear it now. What's the secure? The secure is Riots. Researcher and Riots.
Researcher and Riots. But you had time last night to look at your opponent for this round. So I think a lot of people are coming in here. They've got their game plan. They're pretty sure they know what they're going to see. And then as we get through the day, you can't look too far ahead. You have to win. We as viewers get to look far ahead. But if you're as a player and you're thinking about who you're going to play next round, you gotta beat the one in front of you first, for sure.
Well, and that's the thing too. I think when you're looking at, especially Troy, and since things went up early last night, right, you can kind of see what you're going for. I think a lot of people have come in and have gotten reps in with their rosters to prep against Shield,
Absolutely.
to prep against CGR, and to prep against probably Crime. Okay.
And CGR, we saw from the stats, it is well represented, but it's in. I've got 14 lists that it's in, so a little less than 25%. But I think we were expecting kind of a bigger share there.
This was from who? Okay, so Commandos getting 3 damage through on X-23. That's going to put her at 5.
Okay.
And she already went. Okay, so that means she did at least fast heal, so she healed off that first volley from Crimson Dynamo. Okay, so we have Pursuit, and then a Brother in Arms. Shield versus some form of mutants, that is absolutely right.
Yep.
I deserve it.
Yep. Yeah, CGR, I think when we were talking about it on Thursday, I think when the number was 20, we expected that to be low. So interesting there, but
It's actually nice.
yeah, it is nice. But we don't have him here at the table now, but Beta Ray Bill is sitting in 39 lists today, which is well over half, which is incredible. You might need to. I know there were a few uncoded lists, so you might have some previous numbers. I did see 32 first thing this morning, and then there were 8 lists that were still uncoded, and he was in 7 of them. And I was like, oh, so it because I was like, oh, he's in half. Like that's what we expect. But yeah, he is. We're going to see him throughout the day here at the feature table for sure, just like we saw him a bunch yesterday.
So we do have some Repulsor Blast going into Honey Badger here.
Right.
It looks like 4 on 1 block. Honey Badger's going to take 3 from that. Crimson Dynamo also moved up to that top Riots next to Nick Sr. and X-23.
Right. Curkov bringing the flair here.
And that is Iron Man activated.
Yeah, listen, we're getting a lot of different affiliations every time, which we're excited for. But yeah, if every affiliation, the next one that's going to be on stream is going to be one that we don't have. That's just kind of how we.
So they're in there. They just haven't uploaded. It's all cloud-based. So as soon as those are actually
available, we can update that.
This is Dynamo into. Oh, this is a Bag of Tricks from Gwenpool into Crimson Dynamo. Looks like nothing.
Uglyhead, thank you for the follow. Yes, Vince is running Shield. and the other, some sort of mutants, is Weapon X.
And then that is Gwenpool using gutter space to move back to that back researcher point as well as that back riot. Okay, so we have some rocket boots from Crimson Dynamo here. We are going to get a laser beam onto both X-23 and Honey Badger, showing 4 on the attack so far. That is somebody gone. Okay, so that was on X-23. X-23 is dazed. She did also, that was Honey Badger, sorry, is dazed, and a are you sure you want to remember token was in fact used for that role. X-23, fighting fit. 2 hits, 3 blocks.
Right.
Are you guys going to stream the RMO event for MCP? The RMO event. What is that? What's it?
Dewdrop 1991. Thank you for the follow. We're coming at you live from LVO here. This is game 1 of the Invitational, the round of 64. We're in the second round here. Last year's champion, Vince Curkov, playing Shield, taking on Troy here playing Weapon X.
Okay, so Crimson Dynamo did launch another laser into X-23 and nothing went through. We are going with Apex Brother Sabretooth here. He looks like he's going to be double moving up to the top riot. And is he within range of Crimson Dynamo for maybe a humchuck?
Ooh, the Rocky Mountain. Are you going? You will not be at the Rocky Mountain Open. Is that?
Probably not. Rocky Mountain Open is the weekend before Adepticon.
Yep.
There's unfortunately not going to be any chance for us to be there for that.
But we do encourage you, all of the West Coast people, to sign up for the Rocky Mountain Open in March.
Using that link right there in chat.
Use
Helps us out.
that FLG, and you can get your tickets right now for that event.
Okay, so we're going to hit and run into Sabretooth now from Bullseye, showing a fat, what have we said? 4 dice attacks, murder people.
Yeah.
Murder people. Nothing on the defense there for Sabretooth.
Wow. Taken 4.
All right. Bullseye doing 4 and applying bleed to Sabretooth, Apex Brother. And it was a hit and run, so he gets to move back onto that back riot point and researcher as well.
Vince was on first round as well. I remember he was on for the last round. That's what I do remember.
Vince was on the first and last streams of LVO last year.
Wow. There we go.
Logan is just going to stay up top. Man, these players are playing very quick. Very quick. Rounds will be effectively 3 hours in between, so started at 9. We'll also have a 12 and a 3 o'clock game with lots of additional content, interviews, and giveaways in between rounds.
Yes.
I usually have better results from 4 dice attacks versus 10 plus for sure.
Yep.
No kidding.
That's
Same here.
That's how the math works, I think.
All right, going with Nick Jr. here, shooting Sabretooth with the grunts, and no damage.
All right.
All right, Nick is going to walk over back to that center point, getting onto the researcher, and we are done with round 2.
All right.
Still tied up, 6-6.
There we go. So yeah, both of these players, they were ready. They came prepared.
That they did.
I think, as we said, kind of what Curkov's trying to do is, fairly well known. He does have some different tricks, but I think Troy certainly got those reps in. It's speed protocol.
It really is. Well, and that's kind of what you expect at this level of play, right?
Absolutely.
All of these people qualified throughout the country to qualify for this particular event. Even a handful coming in yesterday from the LCQ. I mean, this is the tournament of tournaments, right?
Absolutely. Yep. This is where we had yesterday. We couldn't even get to round 4. Just everything was kind of slow. These guys, they know their plan. They're going to execute it, and as you can see, we've got an even game here to start off. So,
well, with that researcher being moved closer to Vincent's back line, he's going to be playing a defensive researcher here.
Yep.
So now could be risky. if that research does in fact get to his back line, it's going to let Troy score additional victory points.
Right.
But it also keeps it safe in Shield's back line, because that means Troy's going to have to pull off Logan from a Riot down below. It means he's going to have to pull off Gwenpool from the back line. Like, at some point you have to make a commitment and see who you're going to try to do.
So it'll be interesting to see, is Troy going to let...
For how many? 4. Okay, so we have Stark Armory popped for Vince.
Okay.
With 4 power. What this does is you can spend 1 power up to 5, or between 1 and 5 power. For each power you spend, everyone within that range of Iron Man gets an additional die on all their attack rolls.
Gotcha.
So that means everyone within range 4 of Iron Man, who's pretty centrally located, is going to have an additional attack die on every gosh dang thing they try to kill.
All right. So we've got.
So they're both former Guild Ball players. Yeah, that explains it. That explains it. I love them.
Jay Frellinger, thank you for the follow. There was
What's
another
up?
one before that I missed.
Okay, so we have a Claw Slash onto Nick Sr. We are going to get an Eyes in the
Can you
Sky
show
here.
the last follow too? I don't think we shouted that one out. There we go. Johnny Pastrami 1, thank you for the follow. as well.
Johnny, thank you for the follow, guy. Johnny Pastrami, a prevalent member of the MCP community.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the follow and the support.
So you already stopped it no matter what.
All right. So this is a Claw Slash now going into Crimson Dynamo with disruption, but nothing was going to happen even without the disruption. And I think he is going to do it again. This is going to let it happen. Disruption happens. All right, we're showing 3 with a crit. Just 3.
Just 3 with 1.
With 1 block, but with disruption. That's going to allow Vince to reroll 2. He rerolls the 2.
There you go.
Ouch.
Blocks it all. There you go. That's what disruption's for.
Yep. Working out. There we go. Yes, Greg,
Hey, Dr. D.
I'm pro violence in MCP. I want to see terrain get smashed and heroes get smashed.
It looks like Crimson Dynamo activating. Moving towards Troy's back line. Oh, that was Sabretooth beating him? Oh, that was a Sabretooth throw just shy of the collision there, but gets Crimson Dynamo potentially outside of disruption range for a lot of the attacks this round. Soon we can all be Mojo Ballers. Yeah, that's right. If you are going to Adepticon, and you should be, Mojo Ball is going to premiere there. A new format for Marvel Crisis Protocol that has Blood Bowl kind of fantasy football vibes. We're pretty stoked for it. We don't have the rules yet, but that is premiering at Adepticon this year.
Wow. Yeah. Sign me up. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you can. By going to adepticon.org. Grab your tickets now.
There we go. I just set him up.
Look at that. I got something going for me.
Okay, so we don't have both characters set up for the beam, so Dynamo is in fact going to move and try to nail, looks like Honey Badger and Sabretooth.
There's a lot of banter between these two, which I'm really enjoying.
All right, so he's in Stark Armory range, so he's rolling another die. He's going to be hitting Sabretooth, X-23, and Honey Badger here. Honey Badger first. Looks like it's all going through. 2 Iron Man rerolls. Gets it.
I don't know if I feel like our mic can even pick up how Troy felt about that, because he's been really animated about how these rolls have been going.
Silver Spectre, thank you for the follow. And he is going to Exceptional Healing there to keep Honey Badger up.
All right.
Getting baited, I guess.
Do you not X pause Exceptional?
No.
X dash Exceptional?
Troy is 90% banter. Well, that's a player that we like to see.
Yeah, I love the energy that he has brought here for the morning. You know, it is, for those of you on the East Coast, it's early here in Vegas. It was 9:30.
All right, too dangerous to ignore. This attack was meant for Sabretooth, but it's going into Honey Badger. And 1, 2, 3 crits. Wow!
Whoa, that's a lot of crits.
Listen, that's what Gabby's there for, though. And honestly, that Exceptional Healing, saving, a lot there.
You guys should really try to roll more like Curkov with 10 dice. 'Cause that's. I'm going to put that down as a sound strategy. Yeah.
Roll like Curkov. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. It helps.
Oh, once again, showing
That's
5.
5 hits.
Guys, they are using our official dice, by the way. These are brand new dice.
Yeah. Tim has not touched these
I have not
dice,
touched them.
actually. Tim has not even touched the bag we put these dice in. We don't allow that, to be fair to the players. So.
And that is an X-23 dazed.
Oh, my.
Do you want to remember? X-23 doesn't, and she can't because she's dazed. Guardians Black Order unaffiliated.
Yeah, there's a good amount of the Guardians Black Order combo. Guardians is the most popular overall, and a lot of it have the Guardians / Black Order build.
So I think one thing that, especially compared to Kurkov's play last year, which was very defensive, was very meticulous based around Nick Jr.'s affiliation ability, kind of being able to be down a little bit of VP.
One dice rolls a wild.
Against Gwenpool's Bag of Tricks, which does trigger, so it'll apply a special condition. But yeah, so Kurkov's play last year was very defensive. Was lure them into his back line, firing line them, and if he's behind at first, there's a lot of victory point play. With Iron Man, though, it's all about shooting everybody off the board immediately and aggressively, and it's working a lot. You should consider getting color-coded. So the thing is that the left side of the tables are only on the left side of the board, or on the left side of the tray. Right side, Troy, we're only on the right side. Official dice only. That's what we're doing. So there's no color-coded dice.
Yeah.
At this time.
And they're also, we need that color contrast too, to be able to see those.
Yeah.
See those results. I know for you guys it's a little small, but even for us on our larger, when we're looking at it.
All right, so we have an attack here from the Grunts into Sabretooth. He blocks it all. And by that I mean he blocks it all in the mouth and is dazed. And then the Shake Bleed is the second action.
Yeah, we love different varieties and colors of dice, but they got to put them out.
Then Nick will nudge back over to be on the researcher in the center. Logan just going to sit and twist. Hanging out up on that rooftop. Reindeer paws, out jumps good old Wolver claws. Yeah, sorry, we're bouncing back and forth real quick here. The action is happening at a significantly faster pace than it was yesterday.
This is we had a lot of going into the tank yesterday, and right now we're midway through round 3 here, and both of our players have used less than 15 minutes of their clock so far. So time is certainly not looking to be a factor today, or at least in this round.
Yep.
Cliff Jumper will be joining us for round 2, taking over the color commentary. So it'll be exciting.
So yesterday I couldn't hear any players through Taylor's mic. Today these guys are so animated.
Yeah, I can hear them like I couldn't hear them before, and I can hear Troy and Curkov through my headphones without Taylor's direct mic. So it is.
Absolutely love the energy. Bullseye double walking up to that top riot.
It's interesting that it felt real. Like there was a lot of pressure yesterday. It kind of like. The Invitational was kind of like if you made it out here, you were hoping that that's what you were going to do this weekend. Now, once you're in the Invitational,
Meme Storm 420, blaze it. Thank you for the follow. So that was the Commandos also moving to the center researcher, Iron Man moving back to the back riot and researcher point.
You got to be careful. There are a lot of signs around the hotel.
We're going to end round 3, right. 10 shield, 8 weapon X.
And again, round 3, we've had about 30 minutes of less than 30 minutes of playtime here, and we are in round 4. We are moving today. Maybe they've got a breakfast reservation that they really want to get to.
Yeah, that could very well be.
You know,
A new food court opened up in the Rio, so I had a boy burger, a ramen place, a sushi place, pizza place, I think.
A cheesesteak place is
Yeah,
what I will be
cheesesteak
getting
place.
tonight. A chicken strip place that looks real good.
I think it's time to make Tam uncomfortable and King producer of PCM Richie feel supported. All right, ban Dr. D. He's a mod. I don't think he can.
And I'm a mod, so I would unban him.
Only official dice allowed. Yep. Jin's game is tied 4-4.
Only in round 2. So there are games that are going a little more meticulously, but yeah, but here we are, round 4, 10-8. Curkov here has, you put Vince, it's Curkov. Like, I can't, I'm not doing that.
All right, so we do have a disruption on a claw rush that is going into Bullseye right now. I mean, this could potentially do some damage, but not when you roll.
Not when you roll that many blanks.
Like that. Assassin reroll, turning into a block. Disruption is going to reroll both of those hits. Will he still get 2 damage through?
Yeah. Here we go. Oh,
He does get a block off of the affiliation ability.
And then we've got a reroll on these, and yep.
Blocks it all.
Blocks it all.
Man.
So even though Curkov isn't playing as defensively, he's got that disruption still that's really kind of, it's making it hard to get damage through. Noobmaster446, thank you for the follow and the support.
So now we're going to parting shot with Bullseye from X-23. This is going to do 1 damage to X-23, and he's going to be able to move short away, getting him to somewhat safety. Actually, looks like maybe giving him cover against another claw rush.
And for those of you in the chat, Alyssa's got some updates on some of the other tables here, so thank you so much for that, Alyssa.
And now we are doing a claw rush into the grunts. 1 block.
Why wouldn't he roll a block on 1 dice? Come on, it's Curkov.
Listen, they have like 2 health, so it looks like he got it.
All right. Everything's going to come up Curkov again this weekend, I think.
So those are some dead grunts. And I don't think he gets the murder trigger off of grunts. I don't believe. Oh, he does get frenzy off of grunts. Okay, cool. So that is going to give X-23 a short move and another attack. I haven't been beaten this many times to see him lose. He's got this. Listen, Jin, one of our regional locals from Connecticut, also part of the Pork Roll Protocol. We are absolutely in Jin's corner.
Yeah.
All the PRP guys. Northeast is showing up to represent in Vegas today, and we want to see that follow through.
And as someone from the West Coast, it's a little disheartening to see how much Northeast we've got here at LVO. This is where we should be showing out West Coast. So,
listen, what can I say? The people that are building the community in the Northeast are doing a hell of a job bringing up great players.
Absolutely. So hopefully we can start to build this up on the West Coast here. And, we got to take back Vegas, I think. I think that's the LVO 2025 West Coast battle cry.
So next year, now you have a year at this point, Richie, to qualify for next year's LVO, to build up the Las Vegas scene. What affiliation do you think you're going to be starting with?
You know, I am a big fan. I've been talking about it. We haven't seen a ton of it. I think there's 4 out there today, but Wakanda is coming out with some new stuff, and I really think that might put them in a good place. So I think I might want to tinker around with that and see where we can go with that. I think that's kind of where I want to. I think that's where I want to start, and then go from there. But I really want to. I hope we can get some Wakanda on here. On the stream. I know it's not hugely represented, but 4 out of 64 isn't terrible.
So that frenzied claw rush, by the way, into Nick Jr. did 4 damage through. Troy finally got a good roll here.
All right.
What's going to happen when someone claw rushes your kid? You're going to got your back. Nick Sr. stepping in to do some damage back, but X-23 blocks it all. What is she at now? All right, X-23 is back to full after the fast healing.
The games for stream get picked by Omnis is the TO, and he's sending us interesting matchups here. We wanted to see Curkov, last year's champion, here early on, and then we'll be looking at affiliation rankings. I'm sure is what he's looking at, and getting the top players in those affiliations and those interesting matchups for us.
Okay, so this is a spender from Nick Jr. into X-23. Looks like nothing. X-23 showing up now. Looks like he's going again. Showing 3. Blocking just 1. All right, it looks like she's going to take 3. But yeah, so we've Omnis has been absolutely stellar, and Richie kind of working together to get affiliations on the table every round, like minds in sync from meters away.
Absolutely.
To get a good dearth. We have not had a single repeat of an affiliation yet.
And I think once we get things kind of down to the 16-8, around those numbers here, we're going to see affiliations again. But yeah, I don't know. We're very much in sync on what we want to see. I want to see the great players here early on, and then the people that are making it into that round of 16, the round of 8, the Elite 8. I think is what some people call it. I don't know if we're allowed to say that.
So that was a builder into X-23 as well. She blocked it all. X-23 tanking a lot there. Mm-hmm. Fury Jr. on 1 after not shaking the bleed. TG Lord, you're 1,000% correct. We would really like to see Criminal Syndicate, which we haven't had on stream yet.
Yes.
Especially Simon's claw-based. We got to see that at Everwinter for the first time. Got to see it on stream. Mm-hmm. It inspired me pretty heavily to try it out, and I really enjoyed that setup. So we'd love to see how that has evolved since Everwinter.
Syndicate. It's very kind of interesting that we haven't seen that yet. I didn't look.
We haven't seen Sentinels either.
Sentinels. I don't remember the numbers on.
The guys in between rounds as well. We are going to be doing some giveaways. You can use the command giveaway here in chat to see exactly what we are giving away. Baron of Dice was very nice and gave us 2 $20 gift cards. We're going to give away 1 today and 1 tomorrow. Monument Hobbies also with a $25 gift card, and MistyMountainGaming.com has given us a set of metal dice to send out as well. All right, so we have a Gwenpool bag of tricks into Junior.
Yeah, it looks like we only have 3 Criminal Syndicate.
Junior down. Sorry, what was that?
We only have 3 Criminal Syndicate out there today, so.
And Simon's one of them, so pretty much a lock on that.
Yeah.
That
is interesting. That is much less than I would have expected, for sure.
That is a huge move there. Gwenpool being able to take down Nick Jr. with a bag of tricks, being able to move back onto the back researcher point and the Riot. Yes. We don't have there's not an official shield token, so we're using the Avengers one for now. We have one that is currently being processed. It just takes a little bit to get into the setting. Dynamo into Sabretooth, only 1 damage through. Second time though, looks like it's going to be doing a lot more. Showing 5, blocking 1. And he's going to spend, and he gets it. That Iron Man affiliation. Never leave someone on 1 when Iron Man's around.
Yep.
And that is a dazed.
Is that a KO?
KO Sabretooth.
Sabretooth, wow.
He is running Invincible as leader, Scumber.
So are we at 5-on-3 now? We are.
Yeah.
Curkov is kind of chipping away here. Drakane, thank you for the follow here at the Las Vegas Open, the first game of the 64-player Invitational tournament.
All right, so this is an Ironman shot into X-23. Currently no damage going through. Is he going to spend to try to get a damage through? There's also an assassin reroll left. He's not going to bother.
Not going to bother. All right.
Also, a massive thank you to Alyssa for being our eyes out in the skies today, giving everyone updates on their favorite players and how their rounds are going. Make sure to give a huge thank you in chat to Sweet Tea and Coffee.
Absolutely. A pork roll protocol member.
2 big whiffs from Ironman and X-23. Now Commandos are going to try. They're showing 2.
Yeah, man, it is looking like Curkov is kind of starting to pull this out in his favor here. Troy is down 2 units as well, so
Curkov spending 2 there to convert 1 on the affiliation ability, but with the assassin reroll, X-23 stays back in it, only taking 1 damage there, and Commandos are going to go again. Showing 2. Only 2. X-23 blocking 1, has an assassin reroll left. Spent a remembering token to add some more dice. Curkov's going to spend 1 for a reroll. Now he's showing 3 on 1 block. And she is KO'd as well, regardless of the assassin reroll.
and this is, yeah.
If you had to fill a bath with a particular substance and then use that to describe what this game is, what word would you use? Kane, thank you for the sub, my friend.
Thank you for that sub.
Maple syrup Taylor says maple syrup. A maple syrup bath this game is turning out to be. I was thinking baked beans, baked bean bath, BBB.
I was thinking that you wanted me to say something specific, and I was thinking way too hard about it.
Oh, bloodbath was what I was.
A bloodbath. Oh, that's a good one.
Yes, listen, I'll set them up. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. I do the setups because I can't hit the punchlines either.
Solid 10 against the reigning champion.
There we
There you
go. Troy is happy. 10 points against the rated champion.
So we're going to go into round 5 now, 14-10.
And it's
Leaving
going to
Logan
be
outside of the game that long is very rough. Yeah, you got to make one of those choices early, right? Get him in there and start murdering folks.
And we're going to see, I think we're going to see a lot of Curkov kind of polishing things off here in this 5th round, which I'm going to go out on a limb. It's not a big chucker, but I'm going to say that round 5 is going to be the final round. What would you say, Tim? Would you say you think he's going to table him here? 2 units left?
No table. Logan's on the
table?
healthy side. He's been untouched, out of the game for a while.
Okay.
So we don't see a tabling here, but we're going to see something dang close to it.
Yeah.
Also, Gwenpool also on her healthy side.
Okay.
But we will see Logan has to get into it and just murder claw a bunch of people. Like, it has to happen here for him to deny 2 points.
Yep.
Kirchhoff cannot score 2 points here for Troy. Troy wants to stay in it.
Yeah.
Not impossible.
Not impossible, certainly, but definitely kind of uphill. Curkov, again, we see, like, they stay close kind of those first couple rounds, and then Curkov kind of pulled away here.
And Junior?
He's really kind of barriered up there, so it's really tough for Troy to break through there.
So we are getting Logan moving up, and we are going to get a tornado claw here, hitting multiple units. First on the grunts, he rolled nothing. But he's not near any allies, so he can reroll 2. Okay, he gets 1 through.
All right.
Wow.
Aha.
Wow. On that many dice to grunts, which only have 2 health, 1 damage through.
Here's the thing, Troy is having a good time. He does understand what's happening. Oh, we've got a judge here.
We're going to get a judge call here. This is going to be I believe, eyes in the sky question. if I had to imagine. Taylor, if I can assume what the question is, if it's because Grunts can't play tech, he doesn't have the earpiece.
He doesn't have the earpiece in.
Absolutely useless.
Super helpful. Super helpful to have it down there.
Yeah.
That's what we got him for, was so he could hold it by his pocket.
Yep.
Great investment. Thank you, Taylor. He was complaining yesterday. He was like, "Why am I still an intern?" And then, just an intern doing intern things, as I learned from Carl.
Can we get a Rob watch? I think Alyssa already hit it out.
I think Alyssa is going around the tables here.
Alyssa's an absolute champion, by the way, for helping out like this.
She's incredible, yeah. She is getting all the information that she can.
There's a hydrate. The secure is Riots. Riots and Researcher. DeLester. Thank you for the follow. Is that Vince Curkov? Tarnium. You gosh dang right it is. You see Shield on the table with Vince on the stage. That purple hat is there. Last year's champion. Automatically qualified, the first qualified player of the 2023 season. All right, Commandos are the next target. And he's going to take it. Great defense roll. Blocking 3.
Wow.
Blocked
it off.
Wolverine just not into it today.
I mean, Curkov rolled 4 dice, and that seems to be the key here. Posture check. Thank you. These hotel convention center chairs are the best.
They're a little low, right, for the table. Yeah. So you want to lean. And
exactly. And you're much taller than me, so I'm leaning a lot, so I can't imagine.
All right, so that is an Eyes in the Sky, getting Nick Jr. out of the beam.
Tim, this is Vince Curkov here in round 1 on the left.
Okay, that's super interesting. So the interesting thing on the beam there with the Eyes in the Sky, he was targeted. He was part of the beam. He moved out of it, but that does mean he can place off of him as one of the characters targeted from that beam, because he was the last one that was going to be attacked.
Okay.
And that was straight from Mr. Omnis Protocol himself, Charles.
Yeah. And as he was saying in the pre-tournament meeting there, he's got a couple other people helping out as judges, but he's the one who plans to be running around and helping us out. He's been excellent. He was excellent all day yesterday. Just such an incredible experience for all our players here.
Okay, so that first shot was the Grunts into Wolverine, into Logan. And then the second one is the Spender. And 3 go through. 3 went through. And looks like we have a builder to follow it up. Takes one more. Yeah, so they're certainly going aerial Wolverine hunting today. And Logan is at 1, live on 1 after that volley. And he gets it. That is going to be a dazed Logan.
That is a daze, all right.
And that attack was from Crimson. Okay. So 2 grunt shots, Spender, Builder.
And Troy with a quick pass. Yeah, once we got to 5-on-2, I assumed we were going to see a lot of Curkov rolling dice here.
I don't know how much power Gwenpool is at, but she does have a very large rocket launcher that could clear out a couple waves here. Is it going to be enough? Those characters are really crunched up. It could be.
Yeah.
But to be able to prevent 2, I don't know.
But yeah, and now we're handing it over to Curkov so he can kind of spread out a little bit here.
Who's leading the shield? Tony. Tony is leading shield.
Yep.
and showing 4 on the hits, nothing on the blocks. A4 or shield reroll. It's going to be 5 hits. She is going to pay for some reality manipulation. Turn those blanks into 2 defenses. Looks like 2's going to go through. She has a reduction. I forget about the plot armor. That's actually what the ability is called. Okay.
That's a lot of blanks for Curkov, but he still gets 2 hits.
Does he spend for a reroll here? I don't think so. It's 2 to a minimum of 1. Yeah, take the 1.
Take that 1.
He's going to take it. Also, a huge thank you to Rylan, Mr. Rob himself, from the Tennessee and NashCon area, helping out with the judges today.
Such a wonderful community, just such great help all around here.
The amount of people that came out just to be like, yeah, I just wanted to see what they needed to help.
Yeah, it's incredible. I just wanted to hang out and hang out with the community. It's amazing. It's awesome. It being in Vegas doesn't hurt.
Right. So it looks like we're currently showing 1 going into Dynamo from Gwenpool. The disruption field means nothing is going to be going into Dynamo.
Man, that disruption has really kind of it's made it kind of impossible for Troy. It seems like every time he's got 2 hits and then they're gone.
Yeah, he did use they say keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So Crimson Dynamo didn't get any defense dice on that roll. With his armor, 3 hits, he only takes 2. And that's going to be game, boys.
All right. There we go. There's the handshake. Congratulations. Our defending champion, Vince Curkov, is moving on to the round of 32. A great game, though.
19 to 11, shield.
19 to 11. Very well played there by Curkov. I do feel like, and you can correct me on this, but I do feel like Kurkov's dice were really
They were hot.
They were real hot, yeah. And I think, like I said, it felt like Troy was he was at 2 damage a lot, and then he had to re-roll both of them, and then they just weren't coming up.
If both of them are down, I'm down. Yeah.
Are we getting both players on here?
Very well might be.
That would be fantastic, because I'm sure Troy will be an entertaining interview for sure.
Yeah.
He's having a lot of fun.
Well, and we're going to have a bunch of stuff here. We're going to be doing one of our first giveaways. We're going to have a bunch of interviews here in between the next 2 rounds. We're only an hour into this, so we have about 2 hours till round 2. 3 rounds today. Next round will be up at, some might say, noon. So we're going to talk to Troy. We're going to talk to Vince. We have some other people lining up for interviews as well to see how their first rounds went. You can check out the bracket there on the Longshanks.
So you can continue.
Not yet. So after these guys.
So you can continue. Is the simulations and losses mean out of the bracket? So you can continue to play. I believe they will keep pairing.
And it is rated.
It is rated. So you will continue to play, but if you get to 5-1, but you lost, in the first round, you are not going to be in that top 4.
Right.
So you would be cut from the bracket. The bracket is single elimination, but you will continue to play rated games.
But and that's the thing too, right? When you have so many people that have come from so far away, the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, you don't get a lot of opportunities to play these people, especially in person.
Yep.
So I think I'm going to ask everyone whether they're going to be continuing or not throughout the day. It is rare to have people say no. Because they're like, listen, when am I ever going to get to play Mike DeLuca?
Exactly.
When am I ever going to get to play Vince Curkov or Jeff Trost? Or any of the Pork Roll Protocol guys, Rob or Art, Carl from Carl Con.
Yep.
Like, this is your opportunity to play these people in person.
Yep.
And you got to take your chance. You only get one shot, one opportunity. Are you going to let it slip?
Absolutely. Playing games at the highest level, it's difficult to get those opportunities. So you don't want to come to Vegas and throw that away after a single round, for sure.
So we have a handful of games that are done.
Absolutely. Let's hear it.
Some of the ones that have been completed, Zach Cohen from Juicy L's Juicy Pals has walked away with the win, as Cameron Talbert, Carl, of Carl Khan himself, Kenny, No Escape. I love that. Okay. Kyle, Kenny, Lyle, No Escape. Curkov, Brandon Amberson, Tetsuo, and Rob. Oh, Rob Reel is not done yet.
You're going to have Troy come in on that.
So first we're going to talk to Troy here. Welcome, Troy.
Howdy, throw this thing on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Only if you want to get your ears blown out. They play sound redemptions and stuff all the time, so just be aware that that might happen.
That's fine. I'm just following your guys' lead.
I appreciate that. Well, Troy, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm doing great. Oh, sure.
He doesn't work for you.
Sorry, thank you.
Yeah, fine. I take a loss, and I got to give everything he wants.
Right, jeez. All right, so... All right. So, Troy, tell me about the event that you qualified for, or how you qualified for LVO this year.
Luck is how we'll show it up. I had some good dice rolls. I played a lot of really good people on that.
Did you qualify in the LCQ yesterday?
No. I had qualified like 6-7 months back.
Oh, hell yeah.
At just a tournament over in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So, nothing fancy there. Played Midnight Suns, had some fun with it.
I'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
So tell me about the roster that got you to LVO.
It was, it's a lot of kind of like, I think is the standard stuff, but at the same point, I don't play to the degree that a lot of the other people play.
Yeah.
I make a list that just seems like fun, tweak it as I go, that kind of thing. I don't micro a lot of stuff in that case. But I do, I'm here, I guess, so I do okay.
Yeah.
But that list had,
Immortal Hall?
Voodoo. No, I don't like him, weirdly enough. Like, I get why people do.
Yeah.
He's not my jam. But it's like Voodoo, Black Cats. I didn't take Doctor Strange. I'm not really a fan of him either. Like, I get his benefits, but he's just not my jam of play styles. I think the funnest one I had in there was Juggernaut. Just to have him run around and cover all that real estate and bumps and pushes and runs. It was just fun, is kind of what the whole goal was.
Yeah.
And the games that I was all winning was pretty much boiled down to just Ghost Rider just yeeting himself out to secure those last few points. So having a mobile team like that just made it easier for me to make. I kind of always thought of Midnight Suns as the kind of list where when you're new in the game, it'd be great to play them because when you don't measure right and you're like, oh man, I'm just barely out, well, you can win.
Yeah.
And then when you get really, really good at the game, you can get yourself everywhere you want to be because you want to be there. So it's kind of just a happy faction of, if you're learning the game, do it.
That's actually a really good point. Midnight Suns is kind of like measurement insurance.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
100%. Whereas, like, I know, like, all my friends were like, oh, getting an MCP, we're going to play Web Warriors. And everyone's like, this is really difficult. I don't know how to play these guys. Well, that's why.
Yeah, you got to have that, like, you almost want to put, like, a grid over the table and just be like, okay, I have these people here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a level of play that I am not good at.
Right.
But I really appreciate people like Matt Alex who really excel at Web Warriors and can just have all that trigonometry like an advanced pool player almost.
People who can do it are just nutty.
So tell me about your roster for today. So you're running some Weapon X.
I'm running all Weapon X. Obviously, I have some weird splashes in there, but that's kind of what I've always been told, is I make a list that's pretty okay and then got some weird stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I have, like, Gwenpool as a splash, Hella, new Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So tell me about Hella in there. So I assume, was that a recent addition after the card update?
After the card update, yeah. Before that, I was like, I really hate Hella. Now it's like, yeah, she's pretty okay.
And I was very excited to see Gwenpool. It's one of my favorite characters. I run her consistently in Crime Syndicate.
Right.
And I know people may or may not super enjoy that, but I think she's a great character, and I really enjoy her a lot. A lot of, between the plot armor, the gutter space, like, she has a lot in her toolkit.
She does. It was, I played her in Syndicate as well. I love playing her with that.
Yeah.
I like playing her with MODOK and Killmonger and just keeping it narrow and just putting the paint on them.
Yep. So tell me what your feelings going in. So last night, did you look at who your matchup was?
Nope.
Probably for the. So I think we talked to a lot of people, and whether they looked the night before or don't, I don't think there's a wrong answer. But when you saw that you were up against Vince, last year's winner, was there any response there? Do you know, being in Wisconsin, did you go to Second Wind? Or
I did go to Second Wind. Yep.
Okay.
I know Vince mainly through Second Wind, and the reason he was saying that he remembers me is the first Second Wind I went to, I played Criminal Syndicate Kingpin.
Okay.
Over the 5 games we played, my total clock time was 55 minutes. So it was just super quick. I mean, you probably saw that in this game. Everything was quick. Whether it was good or not, different story, but it was quick.
Well, no, it was a very precise game, and Vince's dice were very hot. But when you go up against a shield list like this, especially knowing Vince is going to probably be running a lot of Crimson Dynamo over the course of the weekend.
Yep.
What was your thought process on there?
I mean, the biggest thing when he had Researcher, I kind of assumed he wanted to keep it narrow, which makes sense in that case. So I was kind of a split up, keep it wide, and see where he goes. If he puts someone a little bit too far, I can go for that. I've got some beams, I've got some throws that could cause problems if I need to go in for it. Or I could just play it slow and hopefully reactive and then just get right target selections. But 5 dice on coming in hot on damages makes it pretty difficult.
Yeah. Yep. We talked about it all weekend. For whatever reason, the deadliest shots are like 4th strength shots.
Yep, 100%.
Always. So, are you going to be playing through the rest of the bracket today?
Yeah, no one's going to stop me.
Absolutely.
I'll take all my losses. I don't care.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like when you come here with so many people from West Coast, East Coast, from Dead Center, right? There's so few opportunities to play a lot of these incredible players, well, yourself included, that it's almost a squandered opportunity to not get some of those experience in it. But as far as tomorrow, any plans for any of the other events that are going on?
I haven't booked into any of the other events. I think it's going to be a lot of just watching and drooling at the paint.
Yeah, fair. But any changes that you would be making to this roster going forward, or are you pretty locked in with it?
No, I'm fine with it. Like, it's all fun. Are there other things that could fit in it? Probably. But again, it's fun. If you're not playing for fun, you're playing at the highly competitive level, which is fine. That's just not me.
Yeah. All right. Well, dude, thank you for stopping by. Well done getting into LVO, and honestly, you put up a great show against Vince, especially with Weaponettes. I really like to see them on the table.
Right.
And running them pure as well. Or not pure, but,
Right, close
really,
enough.
Really stellar. But it was great meeting you, man.
Right on.
Thanks for stopping by.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Best of luck, man. All right, so coming up here, next round, we are going to have Cliff Jumper co-commentating with me. We're going to have Vince here in just a second right now. And by just a second, I mean actually right now. Welcome back.
Oh, hey,
Hey.
me, I'm the guy.
So, Vince, how you been, man?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So last year we got to see a whole bunch, right? Our first stream and our last stream of the weekend.
Yeah, and like the second to last one too.
Yes, yeah. And now you're starting off round 1 of the Invitational on stream with an absolute murder bot list of Shield. So we were talking, earlier. Someone sees that they're matched up against you. They maybe watch some of the matches from last year, where you were playing Shield, but a very different vibe of Shield. One that was a little bit more reserved. You were playing the Nick Jr. points game, baiting people into the back line, and now you're just blasting faces off. So tell me how this roster has evolved since LVO last year.
So Shield's going on like a really wild roller coaster. Bucky was carrying the faction a lot. Like, Bucky was busted. He is good enough to hit my roster, but he's much more of a specialist now. And he used to just like auto win your games. Like, sometimes you just be like, take 12 damage.
Right.
This is a 3-threat. Like, and you would just like get to win games off the back of that. And you didn't need to like give him any rerolls. He was consistent enough that he would just like either chip in, and then every once in a while you pull, you pull the slot machine lever, and it would just come up a Yahtzee, and you just like blow something off the table. He doesn't do that consistent damage anymore. The trigger change is like a huge deal for him.
Yeah.
And then Shield got Stark Armory, which is like, boy howdy, that card's strong.
Yeah.
And like the design of it's interesting because it gives wide attrition more of a thing to do. But the card's just like incredibly strong, and if you time it well, you can just blow people off the board. And then my dice were really good.
They were hot, yeah.
Yeah, they were really hot. Like, I don't know. I would like, let's hold with that the rest of the way. Let's go.
Now, have you swapped out Bucky for Operative?
No, I haven't played Operative. If Soldat was like a shield card, like you could play Soldat and shield, I would definitely be taking a look at him. Because Soldat's a insane card.
Correct. Yep.
But no, not really. Bucky essentially just remains a hammer specialist, and we're kind of 4-threat heavy now because we want to play Dynamo any chance we can in the middle.
Yep.
And then,
especially in Researcher.
yeah,
Or
especially
Gamma
on
or
Researcher.
Demon.
Yeah, the Crisis Flip went my way. It's like didn't go my way. Like I wanted priority because I wanted my secures.
Yeah.
And then I wanted. Just wanted to straight up down the middle fight, and then I was like, oh no, it's Extremis. Like this is the matchup where it's like this healing factor in Extremis, you can just undo all my damage if I don't, like if my dice go cold a little bit. And then I flip Researcher, and I'm like, never mind, I can just play down the middle. And just like I don't have to fight over the sides. I just have to win mine in the middle, and we'll just draw all the way down, and I'll just shoot them off the table.
Going into Weapon X, a lot of kind of weaker defenses against energy and stuff. Did you feel pretty confident going into Weapon X? Is that something that you have reps into?
I feel Weapon X, it's more the player. So this is Troy. Like, Troy was our 30-minute criminal player a couple second wins ago.
That's what he was saying.
It was like he went X and 1, and like his total game time across the weekend on chess clocks was like 34 minutes in 6 rounds. Right, he played 34 minutes of MCP in 6 rounds, like, and so I knew instantly that like our openings were going to be very fast, and that I think I'm among the fastest MCP players, and he is faster than I am.
Yeah.
So I just like manage my clock time, and just like so that I have the time to spend when decisions are important. Was like really my thoughts on that. Like I've played Researcher a million times. Should be easy, and then just like I didn't have to really make many hard decisions because my dice just were like anything I attempted succeeded.
Yeah. So tell me about some of the rougher matchups that you're looking at. Do you have any kind of canned answers or tech for running into what seems to be a pretty heavy amount of like CGRs out there?
So I have a really good tournament record against CGR. I've lost like 2 or 3 CGR games total. One to Zach Cohen. You just kind of stand in cover and you pray, and you just take a lot of dazes. You just like play kind of wide so that you're redundant.
Yeah.
If you look at the math of CGR, if you're in cover, he's not very likely to kill most 3 threats.
Okay.
Like it's different with the Guardian rerolls, but like he's coin flippy at like with the rerolls to shoot like a def 3 5 or 6 health model. He's like in coin flip land to kill them if he burns the reroll token.
And with shield, you have pretty amicable access to stun as well, right?
No, I do not.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I could take some stun stuff, but I don't.
Right.
Like I don't have Spider Woman. I'm not playing Spider Woman. It's really shock. It's like you put shock on him. You have Crimson Dynamo try to limit his things. Because he counts skulls, the 1 dice matters a lot. Like disrupts the field less successful.
Yeah. But
But it's really stand and cover. Stand and cover against him is like reduce damage by 1. Even incinerated, most models live through a single Hellblaster attack if they're at full health and in cover. And you just have to like hope that he doesn't dice you and play your own game.
Yeah.
It's kind of why like webs are really good into him, because webs play wide really well. They're like above damage tankiness for like what's going on. I'm just hoping that like the webs players and the Guardians players just hit each other a bunch, and like I can play against the other stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not like super. Like both of those matchups are not great matchups for me, and they're the 2 strongest things in the game. But like I'm not unconfident going into them.
Okay.
And Shield's way weaker than they were.
Right.
And people know now. I can't believe Shield's the 4th most played thing here.
So we were talking about that, was that specifically Troy going into you and being able to know, you could watch your videos from last year and stuff like that, but you're playing Shield in a slightly different way. A lot has changed, and everyone's aware of Shield now.
Yes.
Right, so it's kind of a different aspect. And to that effect, really kind of put Shield on the map last year. And it's obviously gained a lot of popularity since then. For newer Shield players or people that are coming in maybe not having the core box yet, what are some of the kind of like basic rules of Shield that you would put out there to be like, this is kind of the things that you should focus on, and maybe here are some of the matchups you should kind of get some reps into so you can get that practice?
So if you want to play Shield, first of all, Vincent Curkov on YouTube.
Yes.
Look up top 10 Shield tips. I give you 10 tips for learning Shield. It's managed to stay evergreen shockingly well despite all the changes to Shield. The big thing to look at with playing Shield is the 2 Nick Furies are the 2 models you have to play well. Nick Fury Jr., the leader is like learning to play Eye in the Sky well, learning to manage his power, learning to manage his damage output. Like point for point, there really isn't a better single target damage character than Nick Fury Jr.
Yeah.
Like his ideal activation, which is shockingly easy to get to, right? Because he only has to spend 6 power, but he can potentially make 4 during the turn from the grunts, or 3. So it's really easy to like start on 3 power, have a 4 die, a 4 die, a 7 die, a 4 die, a 7 die, a 4 die, with 3 rerolls in there, plus whatever you're bringing, like just like tons of output there. So playing him well that way, playing managing your power and playing Eye in the Sky well, and then managing the Commandos, carting your stuff around, and their positioning for Got Your Back, and using Incinerate to help things. Like if you play those 2 models well, you can play Shield in a bunch of different successful ways.
Nice. As far as matchups, though, what should they be practicing against?
So Shield wants to play a gunfight, so like practice your positioning on gunfights, and then learn how to chase and how to play the like mobility cards. Yeah. Like play into webs, play your Agent Venoms, play your characters with like action compression, and again play the Commandos well so that Nick can keep up with the spiders running away with stuff. Yeah, but I just get comfortable playing those 2 models, and then like kind of go from there, figure out your matchups from there.
Chris just kind of fills in.
Yeah, it's just like learn to tie your Gordian knot. They're going to have a harder time untying it than you will tying it. So once you learn to tie it, like you practice from there.
So as far as plugs, do we have a date for Second Win next year?
We do not have a date for Second Win next year, but we do have a brand new tournament called Squad Goals. We announced this the day before LVO. Squad Goals May 18-19, squadgoalsmcp.com. It is a 3-man team tournament, WTC style. And we have slots for 32 teams, so we're very ambitious here. We can take 96 players, right? Which is really good. Tickets are not on sale yet. We're not sure when they're going to go on sale yet, but like, watch our Discord, watch you guys. Like, we will get you that information. May 18-19. Set your vacation days now, guys.
In Chicago, right?
In Chicago, yeah. It's going to be at Pastimes Comics and Games.
Pastimes?
Yep.
Yeah, so Nate stopped by yesterday after being on stream and put that on the radar. I think that sounds awesome. Having that format in a very centralized location, I think is a great idea, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And then, as always, Alfredo Side Street Taco Truck and Vincent Curkov on YouTube. If you are one of the people that were kind of on the edge of getting the new core box, Vince did a breakdown of every single character in that. Would highly recommend that, and a bunch of the MCP in 60 seconds bits were very good as well. But dude, thank you so much.
Hey, no problem.
Probably going to see you again, I would assume.
I hope so. We'll see, though.
Best of luck, man.
Yeah.
All right, so I've just been handed a list here. It looks like we have a whole ton of people pulling up here. Looks like we're going to have Carl from Carl Con, Mike Whalen from Porco Protocol, Chris Falkenberry, and Frankie, all coming up for interviews. Whoever is next. I think I have Carl here. And then after these, we will do our first giveaway. Welcome back, sir.
Hey,
How are you?
This freaking guy.
Yeah, me again.
Well, welcome back, Carl of CarlCon himself. How are you?
I am quite well. A little shaky after that last game.
Was it close?
Oh my gosh! So I'm playing Hellfire still, and it was a Cabal CGR matchup.
All right.
He gets Researcher at 15, which is the nightmare.
Yeah.
So the game proceeds by the top of 3. He's killed both Carol and Bill.
Okay.
So things are not good.
Yeah.
I've been able to control his Ultron a bit. Things went well. But then his dice started to peter out because his CGR doesn't go crazy.
Yeah.
Dice start to flub out. He spenders with CGR into Tony.
Okay.
And does 1 damage. And I'm like, oh my god! Oh yeah, here we go. Let's do this.
All right.
Yeah, so that's when you're like, okay, I'm down to Tony and Emma against his CGR and Ultron. I've killed off his skull. Yeah, I'm like, this is horror.
All right.
Like, this is horrible.
What was the secure?
Extremis.
Okay.
Kind of mattered. Like, there's a little healing, but it's just
Yeah.
a researcher game. You kind of ignore the secure for the most
Right.
part. There's just too many points. So what ended up, like, the details get all fuzzy, right? But what ended up happening is my Tony stayed healthy. We got to turn 6, I'm ahead, whatever the score was, 6-4 on turn 6, and he's healthy. So I run away thinking he could still table me, but he goes, dude, he's healthy. You can't table a healthy model turn 6, even if you're dazed. It's game.
Right.
You win. I'm like, oh yeah. So it was all dice.
Wow.
But I think CGR deserves some bad dice. Not my opponent, specifically CGR. When he flubs dice, it's just like the old Malekith. I always cheer. But anyway, it was a good game. He played very well.
Jay Freelander asks, how hyped is Carl about CarlCon 2?
CarlCon 2 is going to be awesome. Don't know when tickets go on sale, but thank you, Freilinger. I'm looking forward to dice if that's happening. Just to context, Jeff does makes his custom dice, and he made a set of dice that looked like beer, and they were gorgeous. They're like foamy on the top, a little like got that amber on the bottom.
All right.
And that was one of the top prizes for CarlCon, and they were just gorgeous.
That's awesome.
They were amazing.
So, I mean, first off, congratulations on the
Thank you.
first round win. Second, congratulations on taking out a CGR.
Yeah. Like I think I'm gonna play today. I got a lot of games going.
Yeah.
But like I'm stoked.
You're doing everyone else a favor too. By
Well, heck yeah. Well, I was hoping that was the dream, is that all the CGRs would be matched up round 1, so they could start weeding each other out.
That's what Vince was saying too. He's like, I just hope the Web Warriors and the CGRs just
A
go
lot
to
of webs.
Yeah. Yep. So what did you? So it was a. I'm sorry. It was a CGR list with Guardians.
No, CGR, Red Skull,
Oh, Red
Ultron.
Skull. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Is that everybody? Yeah, 15?
Nothing like counting skulls as both successes and the first one as a crit.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
let's just keep pushing in. Dark Rain. Dark Rain turn didn't pay off for him, so that was big.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't. I mean, if I remember it right, you know. Like, what happened? I don't know. I could see the score on Longshanks. That's bad.
So tell me about your. Did you last night? Pairings and stuff go up. Did you look at who you were paired up against? Did you just ignore it?
No,
Or
this morning.
this morning.
Yeah, not last night. That's
Okay.
intention. Otherwise, I'm up. Right?
Correct.
Like that's. But first thing I rolled out of bed, I'm like, crap, pairings are now. I got to think about this.
Yeah.
But I just looked at it and said, it's a CGR list. It's just a different one. And I started thinking about, what are the things that are different I haven't seen. Oh yeah, new Red Skull's got we call it Scalpel, whatever the move thing is.
Yeah.
So watch out for that. He got to use that well, but Emma can deny it, which is fun. But yeah, I'm basically saying, okay, he's gonna play Ultron and CGR. That's what that list looks like to me.
Nice. Do you know who you're paired up against next? I know not all games have finished, but
I haven't
a lot
even looked.
of really fast
Yeah, let's
games.
take a look. What's the fun? Because we
So-
can look, yeah, huh?
Oop. All right, so let's grab Carl.
Oh, we
So,
know.
Hyper Viper.
Oh, it's a Hellfire mirror.
It is.
He's got a
Hellfire
punchy
mirror.
Hellfire, and I've got a more control Hellfire.
So tell me your thoughts about going into a Hellfire mirror. Do you get that rep a lot, going Hellfire and Hellfire?
I'm the only local Hellfire, and I don't get enough games otherwise for Hellfire.
So what are your thoughts going into a Hellfire matchup?
Well, he's going to be punchy, I think. So I'll play my anti-attrition game plan, I think. I think it's really going to depend on scenario.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's. Hopefully, I get to play Rhino because he's the man.
Yeah, he is. Well, and did you play him yesterday in your game
Hyper
on
Viper?
stream?
No, Rhino.
Rhino? We saw a ton of Rhinos yesterday, so I get a little Rhino blurred.
Well, it's usually Emma, Rhino, Bill, Miles, so I think so, but I don't remember.
No, okay.
Oh no, it was
was-
a Dynamo match because we
Yes.
were on the Central Gamma. That's a non-Rhino game plan. Yeah.
All right, well, dope, dude. Well, best of luck in the mirror match.
Yeah.
Though not quite a mirror match.
Yeah. Well, that's the weird part about Hellfire is everybody builds them a little different. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the cool thing about it. It's like,
Yes.
not that we're going to see any Dark Dimension, but same thing. You can kind of build it a bunch of different ways.
Although people are sleeping on Dormammu.
I mean, I think so too. We went to Everwinter in Boston in December, and there's a very solid Dormammu player there that is usually trouncing some of the hyper metalists. It's very nice to see. I think he eked out I think he was second place the year before with a similar Dark Dimension list.
He's weird, but
yeah.
I think people can get some good gameplay out of it.
Especially with the new core box too. There's some more pieces that you can kind of work in there that might be a little nice for it.
I haven't thought that way through. Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, do we have a date for Captain Con next year?
CarlCon will be September
Captain
7th.
Con, yes.
That's fine. September 7th, Northern California. And tickets aren't on sale yet. I'll make sure that goes out on the right channels when that does. But
And it was it just CarlCon.net?
CarlCon.net.
.net. CarlCon.net. All right.
It'll cap out at 32, so we're actually expecting to sell out pretty quick. Sold out in like a month last time, so it might go faster.
But Jeff says, yes, planning more beer dice. So that also sounds dope. All right, well, dude, thank you for stopping by. Best of luck.
Yeah.
And congratulations on taking out a CGR. You're doing God's work.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so we got, there's a name on here that I'm excited to see. Dayton. Looks like he won his first match as well. So we're going to be talking to him here in a little bit. I also see Roland here on the side. How'd you do?
Lost.
Oh, no.
It was real close. I got 12, he got 16 like last round. But basically it boiled down to, I had a couple attacks. I needed to pop off.
Yeah.
And I rolled garbage and he rolled really well on defense. You know, Fury threw like 6 attacks with 5 dice. 1 hit, 1 or 2 hits on each of them, and no clears on any of them. And just nothing.
Curkov had your dice then. He was obliterating things with shield grunts. So sorry to hear that, man.
It was good. It was kind of weird because I was fighting Mike from a Protocol.
Actually, come on. Let's hop on in here. Let's talk about it.
On stream or just?
Yeah, on stream.
I don't think I want to do that.
Do you not want to? You don't have to if you don't want to.
Are you on stream right now?
Yeah.
I already sat down, so okay.
So this is Roland Paperman. He's in our neck of the woods. He's about an hour away, comes to our locals. Was very excited to see him and Kane and Nick coming out to LVO representing the East Coast along with the Pork Roll Protocol guys. But Roland qualified at, probably a couple of our events, right? Like you were absolutely killing it with Shield at both the art store and Bearded Dragon. Tell me a little bit about your roster for LVO with Shield. Has it changed at all over the last couple months?
Sort of. So, I've always been a big fan of Original Human Torch.
Okay.
So I keep him in my list along with Demons Downtown. It probably isn't great, but I very rarely find people know what Human Torch does until he does it.
I completely agree there.
And you can throw like a 13 die energy attack and people just go like, wait, what? You know, as you turn into paste.
Well, and especially when Demons comes up against Shield, not traditionally a good scenario for Shield.
Yep.
So when you pull out that Human Torch and they're feeling confident, like, oh wait.
The trick with Human Torch is whenever he does a move action, whenever he does a move, advance, he gets energy from anyone with Incinerate, friend or foe. And you can also, so you can get power really fast all of a sudden. I have a New Age, so I have both Spider-Woman and the Black Widow, the 4th threat.
Yeah.
Because they're both energy attacks and therefore get the dice. Mm-hmm. Same thing with 4th threat Iron Man. All of them really benefit from it.
Oh, yeah.
So when it pops off, you get a turn where you can really easily like kill 3 or 4 characters.
Okay. So has your shield changed pretty heavily since the new core box came out? Or are you mostly Iron Man main now?
I still run Fury leadership a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But I run a lot more 4 threats than I used to. I tend to basically show up with a bunch of 4 threats and just throw them down with like maybe Hawkeye or Human Torch as support.
Yeah.
So that's sort of where I've moved to.
Well, I guess Hawkeye also has energy attacks too, so he benefits from the. All right, yeah, there's something there. I like that.
Yeah, it's a weird sort of thing I've got going on, but it works when it works.
All right,
Best way to phrase it.
So what all have you guys done in Vegas? I know you've had a little bit of illness when you guys first got here, but did you experience anything cool out and about, either on the Strip or around Vegas itself?
Yep. We saw the Penn and Teller show here.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
I think there's a show Sunday night. I'm really hoping to check that out.
Yep. We went to, it's like called like Speedway Vegas or whatever. You either drive like speed car, supercars around a track or whatever, do some go-karts. That's been fun. You know, I'll be the boring guy, hit up like the mob museum or whatever, and you know.
You gotta, right?
Yeah, it's like, part of the
exactly.
experience.
Yeah. Did you check out Fremont Street at all?
Yes, we went to Fremont Street. It's
can be-
really cool. It's really bright.
Yep.
You
Very
know?
loud.
Yes. We went there at night, and when I got off of it, I felt cooler, like with all of the LED lights shining down on you and all the people. I was like, step up, like, wow, it's like, wow, it's really cool all of a second. You know, put the jacket back on.
That is the very traditional first-time experience for Fremont. We went last year after all the games had wrapped up, and I forgot exactly how loud it was.
Yes.
Like, and constant. I mean, they were doing like 90s concerts in like 3 different areas and stuff. Like, but yeah. But what are you planning on playing out the rest of the Invitational?
I lost first round, so probably not.
All right.
I might stick around and grab some pickup games.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here. There's a lot of great people to play with.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, so we're talking to a lot of people. It's like, listen, I'm from California or I'm from Texas.
Yeah.
I don't get a chance to play these people.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that are going to see it through just to get the reps in against really.
And part of it
talented.
is, since I'm from Albany, we have no active scene in the area. Like outside of like the 3 people I play with in my friend group, there is nobody. So it's great to be like, oh yeah, you know, I saw someone out there playing like Midnight Suns, which probably isn't that rare of a faction, but I don't know anybody who plays that.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, maybe that'd be fun. Like, hey, see something new.
I think he got through too. We had a stream game yesterday that was Midnight Suns versus Spider Foes, and yeah, Midnight Suns took it, and I think that got him into the Invitational.
Nice.
So really excited to see Hellfire Club, Spider Foes, Web War, just the wide dearth of affiliations out there in the Invitational is very cool to see.
Yep.
But dude, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah.
Thank you for representing, Albany area. Want to see more people out there. We want to get a bunch more in the Northeast. Will from Pork Roll Protocol has a list, a Google Calendar of all the events in the Northeast, including New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Vermont. I highly suggest checking it out so we can continue to build. And we have a great showing from the Northeast at the Invitational this year, which is also super cool.
Hoping to make it again next year, even if not in the Invitational, at least just to play. You know, it's a great event.
Hell yeah! All right, dude, it was good seeing you.
Good to see you, man.
All right, who do we got next? How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Slide in here.
All right, so I don't know if we've met.
We haven't yet.
I'm Tim. How are you?
I'm Frankie.
Frankie, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I assume you did well in your first round?
I did.
What are you running?
I am running.
Oh yeah, turning that thing around is a
Yeah.
it like flips down like that.
Oh, okay. Now I'm tracking.
I struggle with that almost every other time I put them on.
I'm running Guardians.
Oh, CGR Guardians, Thanos Guardians. Both?
CGR Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, were you in the LCQ yesterday, or had you been pre-qualified?
I've been qualified.
Hell yeah.
I qualified around the time M'Baku came out. So.
Oh wow, so you've been qualified for a hot minute.
Yeah.
So tell me about was it an event, or had you been doing a bunch of events?
It was just the one event. M'Baku had come out Friday. I'd been proxying him and practicing him for months.
Yeah.
Took M'Baku Wakanda to the event the day after he came out. People didn't know how to play it around him, so he just kind of ran the table.
I could see that. He was an absolute bruiser. Like when he first came out and you didn't realize he's going to get halfway across the board and murder 3 people.
Yeah, he pretty regularly, if he's not going into like a CGR or something, he can pretty regularly kill 3 to 4 people while moving across the board. Yeah, he's nuts.
Prepping for LVO, had you kind of really heavily committed to Guardian CGR, or had you kind of messed around with a couple other things?
I had started out, I messed around with a few things. I was looking at like Skull 3 Cabal.
Yeah.
But then they released a couple different forum rules that essentially nerfs Skull, and then they announced that they're not changing CGR before Adepticon, and I'm like, well, you want me to play this model, so I'm playing this model.
Right.
Yep.
So what was your first matchup against?
I was going into webs. We were on Cosmic Invasion and Hammers at 16 points.
Ooh.
It was not a good game for the webs.
Yeah. So what did he run? How did he mix up a 16? Did he have Spectacular Spider-Man, or did he go more traditional route?
He went Miles, Bill, Black Cat, Wong, and Spider-Woman.
Wow, okay. Well, yeah, when you're 16, it's enough.
Yeah, need a 2-pointer there somewhere.
What did the score end up being?
We ended at 17-16.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, very close.
We're in
game.
round 5, or
Round 5, yeah.
Okay.
Round 4 ended at round 3 ended at 9-13 in his favor. I managed to score 6 to his 1 on round 4, and then just kind of closed it out round 5.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Any big moments in that game? Any huge rolls? Any recals? Any big things like that?
Not really. It kind of CGR just dice people out as he does.
Yep.
There was a very funny moment where Miles web swung, kicked Groot off the point. CGR was very upset about that, and we marked for death Miles, and then just murdered him.
I mean, that's what that's for. It's one of those things, like every roster I run almost usually has marked for death in it, just in case you get that matchup.
Yep.
Or limiting some of those, like just a Black Cat, even if it's not in Web Warriors, just to slow her down and get her, you know what I mean, just in check.
Yep. Clear the stealth off of them, stop the rerolls. Like, if you need to murder a model, mark for death is the way to do it.
Yeah. What are some of the harder matchups that you might be a little worried about? Are you kind of worried about the web matchup?
Webs is the big one for me. I, as a player, am very consistently poor into webs. The play style is not something I really know how to play around very well. I'm very much a murder first and score points second.
Correct.
So webs is generally a pretty hard matchup for me.
I'm a very similar player where it gets to round 4 and it's like, wait, shoot, I need victory points. Did you play in anything yesterday in the affiliation battle, or?
I did a couple scrambles just to sort of play around, warm up a little bit. Played a mirror match into CGR, or not CGR, but Guardians, but they had Thanos Guardians. And then played into, I don't even remember what he was running. Foes, that's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw a handful of Foes players out there.
Yeah, there's a few of them. New Doc Ock is really good.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that is what has led to. I think there's only 3 criminal syndicates in the Invitation. I think someone said that might have been before all the MCT codes had been completely updated.
Right.
But compared to last year, way down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, webs are kind of the king of the hill for scoring points right now. So why run Kingpin when you can run webs?
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Is this your first time in Vegas, first LVO?
Yep, first time in Vegas, first LVO.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Did he do anything cool? Have you been here for a part of the week, or did he come in right in time for LVO?
Came in Friday, played the Scrambler, and then we went to a steakhouse.
Nice.
Had a bunch of steak.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, good night.
All right. Did you come with the group? Just you?
I flew in by myself, but there are 3 people from my store here.
Oh, nice.
And then there's another 4 or 5 people from my area that are here.
What store and what area?
Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
I'm from Seattle. So 3 of us flew in from Nomad Hobbies and Games in Edmonds, Washington. And then there's a couple other people from like the Olympia area and around there.
I was gonna say, because I know, like, are Lexa and Omnis part of your guys' local group, or?
Lexa shows up sometimes. Omnis hasn't had the chance to make it out yet, but yeah, Lexa makes it out a few times.
Washington's a big state too.
Yeah.
I know when people say Seattle, like, I'm from upstate New York, and everyone assumes it's a city, and it's just everything's close. And it's like, no, it's like 6 hours away, man. Like, so I get that. But, well, dude, congratulations on your first win.
Thanks so much.
Do you know who your next opponent is?
I think I'm playing Dayton, if I remember correctly.
Dayton, okay.
Yeah.
Are you Frankie on?
I'm Tetsuo on there.
Oh!
Yeah.
So I saw that come up, and it immediately had chat going, Tetsuo Canadians!
Yeah!
But I don't even know how to spell Tetsuo. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, so you don't know yet, but it's either going to be up against...
oh, no, I was looking at the bracket on.
Captain or Kevin Cruz. So that game is still going on, I think, even with a refresh. Let's see here.
Oh, I'm up against Captain.
Up against Captain, who is Defenders.
Oh, okay.
Probably pretty confident in that matchup, I'd assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, we both want to kill each other.
Yeah.
I think my list does it a little better.
Well, especially because you're probably going to be running kind of a more narrow list, so the opportunity for like a joint effort, Devil's Deliverance, is not going to be as prevalent.
My goal is to get a 15-point E scenario.
Yeah.
And just run Hulk, CGR, and Star-Lord, and just run it up the middle.
Yep. All right, dude. Well, it was great meeting you.
Nice
Best
meeting
of
you
luck.
too. Thanks so
And
much.
we'll see you potentially later.
Yeah, see you later.
All right, chat. We got a couple more left. Poor X-Men, they're just not in a great spot in this meta, yeah. Hey, Deviate Nick. Looks like Art lost. No. No. That stinks. All right, so Art's out. Art watch technically over, I suppose.
I got some hot stats.
All right, give me some hot stats.
Some hot stats. So Austin Lampkin from yesterday, he was the last player that qualified from the LCQ.
Okay.
So he is number 64 on the qualifier. He is 1-0.
Nice.
So he has moved on. So love to see that. Dayton from last year, he is 1-0 as well.
Love to see that.
Brandon, who is my personal favorite because he is from A-Force, but the A is Austin.
Yes.
So he's the only Austin Force guy here. He also won round 1, so he's my pick for winning. By the way, I want him to go all the way. Austin. No, Brandon. But he's from the Austin team.
Gotcha.
Pork roll protocol. Having a rough go at it today.
No, that's not what I want to hear.
1 and 4. One still outstanding, but 1 and 4 so far today.
So I know Mike made it.
Mike is the only one that made it.
Is Rob's game done?
I think there is. Last I checked, there was one still going. I think that was his game.
No, that's no spoiler.
Mike's is still going. Montreal Shark Tank is 2-0 right now.
Okay.
They've got one more still playing. And Curkov's team, Juicy Al's Juicy Pals, 2-2 so far. No one else still out there, but Curkov and Zach both.
I just saw Zach walking by.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both winning there. How were your interviews?
Good so far. Met some new people. Met Frankie. This is his first LVL. He was running some Guardian CGR. It sounded like his first game went well up against Web Warriors. As Vincent Curkov had said when he was on for the interview, he just hopes all the CGR and Web Warriors players get matched up against each other and
so
take
they
each other out. Talked to Carl from CarlCon.
Yep.
Running Hellfire, ran into a CGR, took him down.
Very nice.
So one CGR off the list now, thanks to Carl of CarlCon and Hellfire. Looked at his next matchup. Looks like it's a Hellfire mirror match.
Ooh.
But his opponent runs a very punchy Hellfire, and he runs a little bit more attrition-y Hellfire.
Got it.
So the really cool thing about the Hellfire Club in general is, you have Emma, and then you bring whatever else you want. They're all Hellfire now. So you can kind of run those in a lot of different ways. You can put your own flair on it, which is very cool.
Any affiliations out there that you still are hoping to see here?
What haven't we seen? Sentinels.
Sentinels, which is not
not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Dark Dimension.
Also not going to happen. I believe.
Nuts. Okay, so
I
Wakanda.
believe Dark Dimension was one. Wakanda is pretty well represented. I don't. I didn't see how they have been doing, but I believe there were 4 at the beginning of the day. So.
Smadix, the first round of stream game was Vincent Curkov up against Troy. It was a Shield versus Weapon X round.
Yes.
I'm ready for the next one whenever.
Very well. We have another one?
I did roll one.
So we are going to bring you more interviews. Very, very awesome that everybody is willing to come up here and get interviewed and kind of talk to us and give us a better view about what's going on down there. We talked about it. We only see one of the tables. There are 32 tables here in the first round, so there's a lot of tournament going on that we don't really have our eyes on. But it looks like we do have. So I also mostly jumped on commentary so that I could remove my stuff very, very stealthfully. So
that was incredibly stealthful.
Thank you. No one has any idea that this is happening.
Right, that's accurate.
I'm also taking 3 of the waters.
All right, we're gonna in just a couple seconds here gonna be talking to one of the last men standing for the Pork Roll Protocol, which after hearing that information made me real effing sad. But Mike, welcome, man. So welcome back, Mike. How you been? Yeah, it always flips around. It's a pain.
Dude, this is super stressful.
Yeah.
I'm like, why did I fly 6 hours to come out here? and then play another New York guy, and now I'm going to play one of the Montreal Shark Tank guys that we played.
Really?
It's all right. If I'm going to lose, I'd rather beat to Gabe. He's a good guy. But, we got a tight matchup coming up.
Oh, so Gabe won his first
Yeah,
match.
he beat Ben. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Man, they're just they were obviously. The West Coast was very intimidated.
Yeah.
How many East
up.
Coasters were going to be in the Invitational? So they matched them up against each other so they could take each other out.
Yeah, I mean that matchup is he played his Magneto Brotherhood.
Yeah.
That matchup is one of the reasons I swapped to Hellfire Club with Magneto in there. I don't want to play in the Guardians with my old plan. Magneto just gets dunked on hard.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not do that. Hulk, it's gross.
So you are running Hellfire Club?
Primarily. I have Magneto in there for a pivot in like really specific cases, and also I just like Magneto.
Yeah.
My local did an insane job painting him up with like Krakoa, Sentinel parts. I was like, it has to at least be on my tray. My wife was like, you have to bring Magneto if you don't play him. I'm like, but you don't play this game, you don't know.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's not that good. But
for those of you that don't know, Mike is part of the Pork Roll Protocol. Great showing as far as LVO. I think there were 9 of you guys here, or was it 8?
I think there's 6 of us. There should have been 7 of us in the Invitational, but Noah's flight got canceled because it snowed in New York on Friday. Yeah, we told him to fly out earlier, man.
Yeah.
You know, Rob was on. This is 2 years in a row that he had to miss out. I see Will's in the chat down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's patting himself on the back for that Magneto.
So tell me about your friend. What were you matched up against, Ron?
I got matched into Roland and his shield. My strategy was to win Prio in all my games.
Yeah.
I got off to a bad start. I did not win Prio.
Okay.
So he took his secures, and I was like, well, at least, hopefully I don't get Fisk. I got Fisk. But shield, I figure I'll pick 16, because then they have less guns.
Yeah.
And then I brought Juggernaut, Bill, Black Hat, Emma, and I was confident he couldn't punch through that too bad, and I had a lot of displacement. He only had one form of displacement, really, with Iron Man, so I staggered him every round so that he could only get the one shot off. And, all right, if you're going to get wild every time on that, then that's fine. I'll deal with it. But it didn't work out that way, thankfully. He only got the one shot each round and didn't get many pushes, so I just stood on points and tried not to die, and it was effective.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
So last time we saw you at Everwinter, you were running Brotherhood.
Yeah.
It did very well with it, too. Tell me about the formulation of this particular Hellfire roster. Is this something you've had kind of locked in for a while, or have you kind of gone back and forth?
So I like Brotherhood. I think they're really good. I think Brian Terwilliger's list that he brought is really, really good. I think it's a great Brotherhood list.
We got to see that yesterday, which was very cool.
I get bored, and as much as I played so much Brotherhood in the last year. Like I was chasing Ben. I wanted to be the #1 Magneto player.
Yeah.
And then Curtis Osborne was like, "Have you tried the Emma duel? Like, have you tried just adding Emma instead of Mystique?" So I lost the 2 games with Mystique, and I was like, "I want to try something different." Then I tried it. And he's like, "But fair warning, if you do this, you're going to swap to Emma full time because it's so much better." And then I played a few games. I was beating up on my locals hard with her.
Yeah.
And it just felt so good. It was fun. Emma's my second favorite character after Magneto in the comics.
Okay, yeah.
If I was
a huge favorite around the network as well.
If I was going super hardcore competitive, I'm going to win LVO. I think, if I'm being honest with myself, I bring Ultron over Magneto. But the fact that I played Magneto meant I also brought Juggernaut, who's great in Hellfire. And there's something to be said about reps that you have.
Yes.
So like having played so many games with Magneto and Juggernaut and Apex, like having those characters available to me, there's some scenarios I'll bring Magneto out still. Like if you want to bring your E's, and then I'll get my extra X and pick like a high threat, like Magneto's still good there, because then I'll power up Black Cat, I'll power up Miles or Rhino so they're stealing round 1. Yeah. And it's a great time for me. I enjoy that, but there's a lot of things that prey on Magneto, so I don't want to bring him out too often. I want to bring him out at the right time. And Emma's just so fun, and more. What made it exciting is like Hyper Viper and Curtis, who I've never met till now. They're just like hitting me up on Discord and giving me a ton of good advice. So it makes you want to play more. You're like, all right, here's these guys giving me feedback, saying try this, try that. Here's why I do this, and it makes you want to play them more. Where the Brotherhood Discord is a little less active. Yeah. We didn't have anyone really repping them too well at a major events in the U.S. There's some guys over in England that do really well. But for me, like having Curtis in my ear, he took time out of his day. We played a TTS game like a week or so ago, and he's like, what matchup do you want to practice? And it took like another half hour to talk me through a bunch of other things. So having him, having Hyper Viper, and that Hellfire Discord chat, it's like, all right, this makes me excited to keep playing this affiliation.
Yeah.
So it's just been a lot of fun.
So I'm excited to see next round. Carl from CarlCon is running Hellfire, and he's going up against Hyper Viper. So it's going to be a Hellfire mirror match.
Yeah, I looked at both of their lists. Hyper Viper's got. I see you too, Gabe. I see you too. We got the Montreal, New Jersey rivalry. It's a good friendly rivalry.
Yeah.
Hyper Viper's got a little bit more punch in his list. He likes the punchier Hellfire.
Yep.
Carl, I think Carl used to be a CS player, I want to say. I think was he a Kingpin guy before?
Yep.
So he takes the Kingpin approach of I'm going to stand on points with Lizard. And I don't know, I feel like Hyper Viper might have a slight advantage there.
Yeah.
We'll see. But that's a game that I would like to, hopefully if my game finishes fast in a positive way,
right.
I definitely want to pop over there and see how that's going.
And you've played Gabe a number of times, I would assume, at this point, right? Or?
Actually, so when I went up to Syracuse, we played a pickup game afterwards, and it's one of the reasons I really like the Shark Tank guys is that we play pickup games and we talk through the matchup, because locally when we meet up, we want to beat them and vice versa, but at LVO we're like, all right, let's get someone from the Northeast to win and push through. And right now the Shark Tank guys are doing real well, and Gabe took a lot of time to talk through the old Thanos matchup when he was stupid busted and kind of how to deal with that character. So he's a great guy. I look forward to playing him in the sense that I know that there's going to be no we're going to play a clean game, a friendly game, and I would rather he was bringing his Mystique Sam team than Guardian CGR Thanos, but we'll see how it works out.
So last night, pairings and stuff go live. Did you look at it all last night, or did you wait till this morning?
I walked in here and someone was like, oh, you're playing Roland first round. And I was like, I hate Shield. But I swapped. One of the reasons I started picking up Emma too is I really hate Shield.
Yeah.
I hate them so much. But I turn off Eye in the Sky, take care of everybody else. But yeah.
I do really hate, and it just sucks, right? It's the name of the draw. That it was like all the people I was rooting for, the Albany group, like with Roland and you guys at Pork Roll and Montreal Shark Tank, that everyone's getting matched up against each other. And it's like, well, there's no clear favorite here then.
Yeah. I saw. I think it was Jin.
Jin.
He was giving a pep talk to Roland before. I was like, what are you doing, man? You're supposed to be on my side. We got to root against him. Give him all the bad rolls. You know.
Well, and I think that's the really cool thing about the Northeast group. Incredibly talented players between Pork Roll and Montreal. Roland is very skilled, and everyone's always helping each other too. You don't have that. There's some animosity I see between some of the other groups or some of the other content creators that get like real sweaty. And the vibe usually between the Northeast groups are like really good.
Yeah, there's definitely a push that we want everybody to come to events like this and do really well.
Yeah.
You know, we all reach out to each other. We practice with each other. Like some of the Montreal guys hit me and Jeff and a few others up for TTS games leading into this, and vice versa. You know, Magic Nick actually got a game with me the other day. He talked me through a lot of CGR and human stuff, which I don't see anybody doing that here. But it was cool. This guy took time out of his day. So we have this really good rapport up in the Northeast, and I think more people are starting to find out about us. You know, now. So.
Well, I thought it was really cool. Alyssa was saying yesterday, I guess there was 4 Inhumans players. None of them were CGR or Inhumans.
Yeah, I
or
think
in the LCQ.
I think they have plenty of game outside of playing CGR.
Yeah.
Like CGR, I think some people want to crutch on him.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that disrespect to anybody. There's some people that want to jam him every single game, but like Zach Cohen, 1 second win because he's a smart dude who's like, this is a Hulk game. This is a CGR game.
Very much so.
Like the best players who run him know the difference. And even talking to Gabe, he's like, you know, here's the situations I'm going to bring Thanos versus you instead of CGR. And I was like, you should tell me this after we play. We've got a competitive game coming up, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he's messing with that. I don't know. But like the best players playing those things know when to bring one or the other. So, yeah. And to hear the margin of error is so small. Like some of these guys are so strong. It's a lot of fun, though. I definitely recommend anybody out there, come out to LVO. Even if you don't qualify, there's so many good people. I see Nick Patry in the chat. Yeah, we love Montreal over there. Is that Matt Alex in the chat? I wish he was out here too. Another great guy from the Northeast.
We had a bunch of people, unfortunately, it seems like from East Coast. That weather delays, flight cancellations, moves. Taylor and I both had all sorts of issues getting here, but listen, next year, right? Next year we'll get more. But dude, thank you so much for stopping by. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hope to see you again, man.
Me too.
All right, so I think we only have one left. I think it is Mr. Dayton himself should be here at some point soon if he's still around. Let's see. send Dayton over. And then we should be. I don't have it in. Because everyone was talking, it was like blaring in my ear, so I set it off.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, man, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm here for the interview.
All right.
How do I interview?
So, what you do first
Yeah.
is you make sure
Push buttons.
that you push buttons. Yeah,
I don't know what that one was.
It's a big Chuck call.
Okay, good.
It's a big Chuck caller right there.
Oh, what's up, Nick?
But yeah, got to just talk to Mike Whalen from Port Royal Protocol.
Yeah, he's pretty cool dude. I'd hang out with him.
Seems like us Northeasterners are getting paired up against each other.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Right?
Ridiculous.
Now, see, compared to last year, right, it's all random. And with 64 players and, between 6 pork rolls,
Yeah.
rolling from the Albany area,
Yeah.
3 Shark Tanks, like, you're talking about a pretty 12% or more just from, like, our regulars.
It's inevitable.
Yeah,
like
it's gonna
Thanos.
happen.
It's
Correct.
inevitable. Yeah.
Inevitable.
Do you happen to know what the next pair is? Because I might.
So I don't know what the next one on stream is going to be. Do you?
So there is a very strong potential for Criminal Syndicate Claw, which you know who that is,
I'm very happy to hear that might be who's on next.
against Wakanda.
How possibly did it just work out so perfectly that every affiliation is just going to be shown?
It's just shown today.
One after another.
Shown this week.
Probably not, unless people want to.
Untouched fan. Hell yeah, Dr. D. I love that, bud.
But yeah, so it looks
I
like...
just bought the rulebook today.
Yes.
Yeah. Old World happening on the channel, professionalcasual.com.
And check out Beards, Ears, and Skulls, a Old World podcast. So you can find where any good podcasts are sold. We have Dayton here.
We do
as
have
well.
Dayton here.
Very excited about
Love
this
you all.
one.
Bye.
And I'm sure we'll see Taylor again really shortly. All right, welcome back, man. Dude, good to see you.
Yeah. Good to see you too.
So, for those of you that don't know, Dayton was on, was it the first round of the Invitational?
Yeah, it was first round.
First round of the Invitational last year, playing Shield to a very high level after Vince was also playing it at a high level, and we had not seen anyone do it. So not only was Vince on that chain, but Dayton was as well, right kind of as it's kind of bursted onto the scene. So tell me about this past year, since LVO last year, I'm assuming you're playing Shield.
I'm playing Sam now.
Oh, Sam, that's right.
Sam Avengers. The only Avengers player today at the...
Which is surprising, like especially at events like NashCon where Sam wins every NashCon. Like I'm surprised that we don't have many more Avengers players. So how since LVO last year has your play shifted from Shield to Avengers, or has it kind of gone back and forth? Has there been other things in between?
It's been kind of all over the place. I continued Shield for a couple more months after LVO, and then I ended up kind of shifting over to Guardians, which I played that for a while. I ended up qualifying with Guardians.
What event did you qualify at?
There's one up in below Seattle. I forget the name of the game store.
Okay.
But it was a good one. But CGR is not the most fun model to play, so I ended up dropping them not too long ago. I think 3-4 months, and I've been playing Sam ever since, and I've been having a huge fun with them.
Tell me about your Sam roster. You kind of go a couple different ways with it. How's what's Dayton's spin on Sam?
So my Sam is a little bit different from the traditional spam. It's more 4th threat related. I got a lot of steals, a lot of extract shenanigans.
Okay.
It's Sam, Voodoo, Bill, Lino, Spider-Woman, Luke Cage, Black Widow, Pyro, Iron Man.
All right. Invincible Ironman or OG Ironman?
OG Ironman.
Okay.
And one more that's coming away from me.
You can probably pull it up too, yeah.
Of course, I forget Hulk. I have all of them. But yeah, very 4th threat related. I run a lot of my 4s. Rhino's making it almost every game.
Yeah.
Voodoo sometimes. It's very good. I like it a lot. This last game.
Yeah, so what were you up against?
I was up against Defenders.
Okay.
Yeah,
a lot of
Daredevil.
Defenders lists out there.
A lot of Defenders.
Defenders.
A surprising amount of Defenders. It was Witnesses and Hammers.
Okay.
18 threat. They ran Hulk, Daredevil, Wolverine, and the new Black Widow from the new Corvus.
Okay.
I got Sam, Rhino, Voodoo, Luke Cage, and Bill. So it's a good game. I really like hammers. I'm really confident in the matchup.
Yeah.
I generally have Sam take the back one, and then I'll have Rhino take one flank, Voodoo take the other. So whatever one they go for, I can just steal it from them.
Yeah.
Which I ended up doing a little bit different, kind of put Rhino more towards the middle, because I just noticed that he wasn't really bothering the left side of the board. So I just sent Bill over there to kind of hold that left side while everyone else just fought on the right side. And I just slowly scored out until that last round. I just took all the stuff right to the edge.
Hell yeah. All right. Do you know who your next matchup is up against?
Yes. I'm going against a Web Warriors player.
I did see there's a lot of Web Warriors out there.
Yeah.
Quebec Tango. Yep, Web Warriors. All right.
Looks pretty stock Web Warriors, so just a lot of steals, a lot of pushing around. It's going to be a game of positioning.
So tell me, so last night when stuff went live as far as matchups and stuff, did you look at it or did you just kind of wait till this morning?
I fell asleep. So
Okay.
I did not see it till this morning.
So when you saw you were going into that matchup, was that something you felt pretty good about, or?
Yeah, I was feeling pretty confident. The worst case scenario, I land on Researcher, which I'm not a huge fan of, obviously, especially against Daredevil Hulks. Not liking that, but luckily enough, my opponent, although he won priority, he chose his Secures, so that was out of the question. And I was pretty confident in that. I liked hammers. He also liked hammers. The Secure, it felt pretty even on the prices. I was pretty confident.
Okay, awesome. So going into webs, what's your thought process there? Is that a matchup that you're all right with, or is it mostly just based around what prices you get?
I feel like we kind of like the same things. We're both just kind of stealing a bunch of stuff, pushing people off points, playing the huge scenario game. I think the matchup could go either way. I think it's just whoever positions better, some key steals, key moments, whoever gets priority.
All right. Anything out of these like Q1 releases that you're excited for? More Wakanda, X-Men, anything like that?
I'm excited to see some of the new X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
Recent life. I really want to see what Bishop looks like.
Yeah, for real. I'm actually very excited for Bishop.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see where Nightcrawler gets splashed, because I think he might be pretty prevalent.
Yeah, for sure.
With that effectively one power infinite blitzing.
Yeah, somewhere that could give him some rerolls and really help him out.
Yep. But dude, well, congratulations on your first win and or round one win. Best of luck coming through, and we hope to see you later, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So I think we're about an hour away from the next round. I'm curious to see if there's any games finishing up still. We'll go through. It actually looks like everything is paired for round two. So we'll go through some of the standings here. Here are all the 1-0 players, all 32 of them. Get ready. Zach Cohen, Juicy Al's Juicy Pals, Cameron Talbert, John Paul George, the JPG, Jeremy Joffrey, Mike D'Ambois, Carl of Carl Khan, Kenny Lyle, No Escape, Captain BDMA, Simon Jerry. What's that? Nothing at the moment. Yeah, if you want to jump on, you can. Either one. I don't care.
Give me somebody. What about in the chair?
Simon Jerry as well, winning his first game with that Claw Criminal Syndicate. Love to see it. Looks like he will be on next, I believe, is what I've heard. Also, welcome to stream for the first time, at least here, Mr. Cliff Jumper himself.
What is up? How are we doing?
How's it going, man?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you guys. I'm like just excited to be around everybody like from Professional Casual for like the first time in like forever. So it's like awesome.
So tell everyone a little bit about you, about your podcast, about your history and all that good stuff.
Okay. Well, MCP-wise, I've been playing MCP since the game launched initially, and then of course COVID happened, so none of us played except on other medias and stuff like that. So no, I've been playing MCP forever, and then AMG decided, hey, we're going to launch Shatterpoint, and I love Star Wars like no other. I think I'm just a huge fanboy of Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I went on and immediately.
Thank you, Chad.
I immediately started playing that game. I was all in, like, as soon as they were talking about it. I started a podcast. It's called Momentous Struggle. And I just started doing that solo, and then my friend Aubrey, I conned him into playing because he's another huge fanboy of Star Wars as well. And the two of us just love talking about Star Wars and talking about the lore and the game in general.
Yeah. I will say, as far as the Shatterpoint podcast, like, Momentous Struggle is very good at deep diving the lore and talking about some of the interactions between characters and how they're portrayed in the cards.
Without a doubt.
I highly recommend it.
Thank you.
So this is your first LVO?
This is my first LVO.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, you run kind of, or organize a lot of stuff in the Arizona, like, kind of greater area.
I do. So I am the primary organizer of the Arizona State Championship Series for MCP.
Yeah.
So we run events throughout the entire state, down to Tucson, Phoenix, all over the state, run events there, which culminates in a invitational of our own at the end of the year.
So tell me about kind of that experience. So how many kind of like groups do you have going to that invitational? Like what are some of the kind of metas in that group? Do you have a lot of what we kind of see everywhere with some CGR? Do you have some kind of like tech players really kind of pushing some Hellfire Club or some Super Sentinels meta or something like that?
We do have one of our locals is just all in on Hellfire. He played in the Invitational yesterday. He went 3-2, so didn't quite make it, but he had a good run.
Yeah.
We do not have a lot of Guardians players. We have like one local Guardians player. His name's Ian. Very, very good. He is like, that's all he plays. So he plays that. Other than that, I mean, we have a lot of X-Men, a lot of Brotherhood. And there's just a lot of dabblers. People like to play all the different stuff. There's I don't think a lot of people like to be tied to one particular list. Like Eric, who actually did qualify, he ended up losing round 1. But he was playing Asgard, at this invitational. But he plays Wakanda. He plays Inhumans. He plays all sorts of different things. So we have a lot of player bases that like to just experiment, which is really nice.
Well, it was actually really cool to see Eric. We had him on first stream yesterday for the LCQ. And yeah, nice to see Asgard out there.
Right.
And we've been talking about this kind of all weekend that, like, we have not had a repeat affiliation once. 5 rounds yesterday, 10 different affiliations. Today, 2 more affiliations we haven't seen. I think next game we're getting Criminal Syndicate and Wakanda.
Yeah.
Like 7 games in a row,
Very
no
awesome.
repeats. If you want to talk about a healthy game, I mean, look at that. 14 different affiliations over 7 games, guys. Like, all really competent, intelligent, like, well-playing, talented players.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Like, it's just really cool to see. It's really anyone's game.
Anyone, yeah, and that's the nice part about like where this is, especially with the rebalancing, is that we have been able to see like a lot of characters get places, like the new Defenders coming out and seeing some play, X-Men getting to shake up. It's very nice to see all these different models that have come out and all these different affiliations starting to see play. It's great.
Coyote81G says, Big T representing Arizona Avengers.
Yes, Coyote's another great player as well. He's a local in Arizona. He plays Avengers a lot, and he's one of those that like to dabble in all sorts of different things. So he's one of our locals out there as well.
Dope. All right, so picking through the last here bit, we left off with Simon Jerry at number 8. We have Hyper Viper, a Hellfire player. At number 8, Adam Lebo, Ant-Man is a criminal, is the tagline there, playing Spider-Foes Criminal Syndicate. Gabe of the Montreal Shark Tank, who we know is going to be going up against Mike Whalen, Northeast versus Northeast there, a long rivalry, friendly rivalry between the Montreal Shark Tank and the Pork Roll Protocol. Vincent Curkov, obviously still in, as we saw. Mike Jansen with some Web Warriors. Greg with some Thanos Guardians, Black Order Guardians. Jeremiah England with his Avengers. Mike DeLuca still in with Wakanda. Is that the matchup we're getting? Are we getting Simon Jerry versus DeLuca? Hold on, I gotta check this out. Who is Simon up against? No, against Cameron Talbert. Okay, I was like, holy cow, that'd be a great match.
That would have been a great matchup.
Like, oh no, I backed out too far. Where did I leave off? I think we did Jeremiah England. Yeah, DeLuca. Dayton, who we just talked to, running Sam Avengers. Mike Whalen for Pork Protocol with Hellfire Club. Chris Falconberry with, looks like Midnight Suns Web Warriors, which I really like to see. Really like to see Midnight Suns really anywhere. Sleepy Gary made it through his first round with Guardians. Dustin and Alexander from the Silicon Valley Syndicate with Brotherhood, and it looks like X-Force. Like to see that represented. You know, I don't think we've seen X-Force yet. I think that's the only one after this next game that we haven't had
Yeah, we were close with Weapon X. Well,
Yeah.
we were close.
Well, I didn't have the icon for Weapon X, so I used the X-Force icon. It's like a half measure.
It's close enough.
Van, Christian, Nick Menard is still in with Defenders. Tetsuo, we just talked to. Frankie with Guardians. Danks. In Young, I Wargame. Austin Lamkin. Quebec Tango. And that is the 32. Rob Real. Porkrow Protocol taking some heavy hits here. With Rob, Ben, Brendan, not Brendan Arthur, I'm sorry, and Art, all taking the first 0 and 1. And Jeff Trost as well. Dang shame. Are any of your guys still in from the Arizona Avengers?
No, Eric ended up losing his round. He played it was a very tight round. I was looking over and watching.
Yeah.
He had a good run for it. I mean, he went 4-1 yesterday, but it was just not in the cards today, unfortunately.
Dennis says hi as well, Todd.
Hi, Dennis.
Shark Tank. No, Tim. What do you mean? No, Tim. I'm excited. I think all of the Shark Tank people are still in, right? Yeah, Simon is, Nick is, and Gabe. I mean, how could you be mad about that? Especially after last year, where I think Simon and Gabe, traveling all the way from Montreal, got paired round 1 against each other.
That was
Invitational.
unfortunate.
It really was. But. Oh no, Tim, for me wanting DeLuca versus Simon. Dude, I think it'd be a great game.
It would be fun to watch. It might
really
not be great for them, but it would be fun for us.
Well, who knows? It could still happen. Being mad at Tim, being mad is very easy, Tim. Yeah, that's absolutely fair. But, Todd.
Yes.
We're about to do our first giveaway.
That is fantastic.
So we went through the merch hall, Taylor and I, earlier, just trying to, get some free stuff to give away to you guys. And thankfully, we had a bunch of friends in that particular merch hall, specifically Monument Hobbies and Baron of Dice, as well as a newcomer, MistyMountainGaming.com. So I believe I have like 90% certain I have a command for Monument, and I do. So command Pro Acryl. So this is our link for Monument Hobbies. Our artists here, Dr. D, Dan, Taylor, all swear by Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl. We are part of their Monumentals program. If you use that code Professional Casual at checkout, you will get 10% off your Pro Acryl and more purchases. Monument Hobbies has probably one of the greatest go bags I have ever seen for hobbying. Comes with a bunch of dope stuff and packs up real nice, very air travelable. They have also given us a $25 gift card to give out to a viewer. Baron of Dice gave us 2 $20 ones, and we have this set of Misty Mountain Gaming dice from MistyMountainGaming.com. They're not going to show up super great, but actually they kind of do. Look at that. They're very Thanos-y, like purple and gold.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Those are beautiful
They
dice.
look awesome. You're definitely going to be able to hear this.
Yeah, nice heavy dice.
Nice heavy dice. So we're going to start with one of the Baron of Dice gifts cards. So, how this is going to work. I am going to ask a trivia question. The first person to answer it in chat is going to get a $20 gift certificate to baronofdice.com. If you are looking for specialty dice for whatever real game, he had Old World stuff, Warhammer 40K, AOS, Blood Bowl, MCP, Shatterpoint, literally anything is going to be on that site in a theme or a color frame that you really like. So, the first question is coming up as soon as I think of it, which is, what was the release for Marvel Crisis Protocol designated as CP07? What was CP07 for Marvel Crisis Protocol? I am also looking it up as well. Nice, okay.
Which is actually very fitting.
Soft flow. Oh, no, hold on. Let me go to the top of chat here. Meme Storm 420. I think you were the first person to get that. Let me just scroll up, make sure there's no one above it. All right, there you go. Meme Storm 420. Black Panther and Killmonger was in fact the first, was CP07. So what I'm gonna need from you, sir, is if you can message us here on Twitch with your first and last name and your email address. I'm gonna walk over to that merch table and give that to Baron of Dice, and when he gets back, he will be sending you a $20 gift certificate to baronofdice.com. Please give it to John. Or Jen. Yeah, I could do that. If you're sure, you're positive. I mean, he's here. All right. Can do, man. That's very nice of you. Everyone else, use the code Arachne since that gives you a discount. Wait, does it really? We have 2 codes? Oh, that's right. Tell him it's from MJ. Okay. Can do, man. That's very nice of you.
Super kind, super kind.
So we have about... Oh, so tell me about your first LVO experience. What have you done anything cool in Vegas? Have you been to Vegas before?
So I'm from Phoenix, Arizona.
Say,
it's like a 4.5 hour drive. For me, it's not that bad. It's like I've been up here multiple times. I used to play Magic a lot. I was very competitive in Magic. And they would always have a Magic Fest every year up here. So I would be up here annually to play Magic.
Yeah.
So like Vegas is like doing the Vegas thing is not really my style. I've been having more fun just hanging out with like a lot of us locals from Phoenix came up, and Tucson. So a lot of us came up. We're having a blast just hanging out with each other, playing stuff. I played in the affiliation battles yesterday, which was so dope. I played Defenders with the new Daredevil.
Yeah.
So much fun. So and like the funny thing was, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play a casual event, not realizing that everybody that qualified for the Invitational already was like, well, what are we going to do? We're going to play in the Invitational event. So I just went through like all of the great players that are here playing. I was like, oh, I just get trucked by everyone. And I was like, oh, that's fine. I'll deal with it.
I really like Affiliation Battle as a format, and I think it shows that it's a very popular format when everyone that had qualified was like, well, yeah, I'm going to play an Affiliation Battle.
Right.
Like, because there's... Let's not joke. There's a lot of things you can do in Vegas with a free day.
Yes.
And they were like, oh, Affiliation Battle, though, let's go.
Yes, it was great. And yeah, the nice thing was, so because I'm so big into Shatterpoint, there was also an after-hours Shatterpoint event.
Yeah, so what was that? How did that go?
It was just a casual play, honestly. We were just doing casual play. Kenny from another podcast called Zion's Finest, he was like really spearheading that. So he was up here hanging out. I got to meet with him, have a good time playing with him.
Thank you, Browntown, for the for the follow.
But it was great. I had a good time. And I am in talks with Tyson to potentially have LVO hosting Shatterpoint next year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we are working on that, working out some of the stuff right there. Of course, if my wife is watching, she's gonna be like, "What the heck are you talking about? We haven't talked about this at all." So, honey, if you're watching, I'm sorry. But but yeah, so I'm hoping to get that running up next year, as long as, of course, I like to call her my Sergeant Major because she's in command of everything.
Yeah.
So as soon as Sergeant Major gives me permission, I'm hoping we'll be running Shatterpoint here next year under the umbrella of Tyson is what the plan is anyway. So it'll be great.
Well, and just to shout out Tyson again, lead TO here for Marvel Crisis Protocol has put an uncountable amount of hours into the terrain, into the trophies, into the organization. When you go to lvois.org and you sign up your local game store or you register an event to be an LVO qualifier, Tyson's the one that handles all that, the schedule, the points, inviting qualified people, going through those lists, seeing who can come, who can't come, and getting more points people in. Tyson does a lot of work all year long.
And that's not his full-time job. I mean, this is something he does on the side.
Correct.
You know, so the amount of work that he puts in, he is pivotal to this community,
100%.
and it's great what he does. I'm very thankful for him.
An insanely talented painter as well, Golden Demon winner. Like, Tyson's absolutely dope and very humble people.
Yes.
Very humble people. He made that massive Tomb King's throne.
Yeah, the throne is
that's
huge,
out there.
It's beautiful.
I mean, and that's another reason to come to an event like LVO. Like, to see cool art, things like that. I know in 2025, LVO is really going to start to explode with other classes and stuff. It was really cool to see Mr. Laser directly out in the hallway. Every MC person walking by being like, well, okay, yeah, I kind of want that. Like, they're doing a lot of things to support small businesses and stuff as well, which is just very cool to see. But But yeah, that was a complete side. I got sidetracked there. What were we talking about?
I have that happen. See, like this is what happens when you come into my podcast. We just get derailed all the time.
Yep.
No, but we're just talking about LVO in general and like potentially having Shatterpoint here next year.
Yes.
So that I mean, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for. It looks like Adepticon's going to be huge for Shatterpoint next year too. So like this year, so it's like I'm excited for the growth of that game, and this game's been growing so well too. I'm so excited to see the growth that this MCP keeps having, and it's like especially recovering out of COVID. It's like the game launched, COVID happened. It's like what's going to happen, and it's just we came back like gangbusters. Just the game hitting hard, and like even in my local community, there's our series, and then there's two other locals. This guy Anthony and Jason. And they're primarily the ones who run our statewide league, because we have a league that has like 60 players-ish that play throughout the state, and we all have it culminates in a large tournament at the end. So like it's great like that we have like communities that are continuing to do this kind of work.
A loyal trader says, let's go Shatterpoint. Hell yeah, man.
And that's Aubrey. That is my podcast partner.
Oh,
Aubrey.
nice. Aubrey. Yeah. Hey, man. But yeah, so guys, we are going to be taking a break here. We got about 45 minutes left until round 2. Todd is going to be commentating on that one with me, so I'm super excited for that. So make sure, don't go anywhere. You have a little break here. Go take a quick walk, grab some water, grab some lunch, use the bathroom, take a shower, let the dog out, whatever you need to do. We are going to be back at midnight, midday, noon, some might call that.
That's a normal word for it, yes, noon.
Pacific time. But yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific. We will be back on for round 2 with Simon Jerry and his criminal syndicate going up against Wakanda. Guys, we'll see you very shortly. Don't go anywhere, but also, go take care of yourself. Be healthy. See you soon.